political scene. We dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast. We're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Bolt are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. Whispers of ghosts in the halls of the old, haunted by the memories of stories untold. Political shadows creeping in the night. Mo and Bolt, we're shining the light. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast. We're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Bolt are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. In the world of games where the legends are born, Bolt's got the cheat codes and Mo's battle worn. Digital currency's changing the game. The world's in our hands and nothing's the same. Politics brewing like a storm in the night. We dig deep to find what's wrong and what's right. Specters of the past and futures untold. Mo and Bolt, we're breaking the mold. From the paranormal to the political scene, we dive into the unknown, if you know what I mean. Cryptocurrency madness, gaming world so vast. We're bringing you the future and echoes from the past. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Bolt are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more. So gather round in the crib tonight. Mo and Bolt will lead you to the light. From ghosts to politics, games and crypto too. These are the tales just for you. Tales from the crypto where the shadows come alive. Mo and Bolt are your guides, let's take a dive. In the crypto secrets we unravel the law. Hold on tight, cause we've got so much more.
Alrighty. Back. What's up, Mr. Vault?
What's up? Are we live?
We are live. We should be.
Okay. Yeah, it's probably a delay on when I'm watching. What's up, everybody? Thanks for hanging out with us. It is Tuesday, time for this week's Tales from the Crypto. I see Denny OC and Alejandro, the OGs, already in the chat. What's up, Mo? How you feeling this week?
Chilling, brother, chilling. I got a couple people over on my Twitch. We're sending the feed over there. A little tester. So, told everybody to come on over to the YouTube and get involved with the rest of the chat. But yeah, man, it's a good week. PFL is alive and popping, breeding week. My horse didn't sell out yet, but he's looking like he might. So we're,
What was that one
another
second
day in the
screw?
books. 1 second screw, yep.
Let's
As a
go.
matter of fact, I don't think I have it up here on the screen.
Let me know in the chat if you guys can hear us and see us all right.
Actually, just hit win number 900.
You're
Win
on
number
what for your
just-
total stable wins?
Total stable wins 900. So.
Golly, that's a lot of freaking wins. Shout out to Woody's in the chat. Thank you for letting me know. All right. So I guess we're good to go then. Yeah, it's looking weird on my end, but seems to be working apparently. Mo's got a nice colt that he puts up for stud fee every month, I guess it is. And he's been making some nice money off. I saw where one of the bigger stables tweeted about, I think, how one of the colts from 1 Second Screw is the favorite in the upcoming Derby. Is that right?
Yeah, it's actually wild because it's an S horse too, and I track all the babies, especially when they're doing good. And I've been tracking him, and I saw he was running in the Derby, qualifier, and I'm like, that's ballsy. So looked into qualifying and the leaderboard. I'm like, holy shit, he's in like number 5, number 4 spot, something like that. And yeah, apparently other big barns, yeah, they were chiming in. They're like, yeah, we lose this horse consistently, so he's a contender, which is insane because he's an S going up against S plus and SS minus. But for those of you that have tuned into me on the show, my show, 1 second screw, we actually brought it up and showed it. If you would have taken his best time on a sloppy track and put it up against the time in the virtual Kentucky Derby, which ran on a sloppy track that season at 10 furlongs, he would have won.
Oh,
However,
really? Dang.
yeah, I was too busy running S only, thinking he wouldn't have a shot against S plus, because there's like open qualifier and then like S only. So I ran the qualifiers towards the end and almost qualified, but I probably should have done it earlier because
He's still
this
paying
horse
off for
is
you with those stud fees. Shout out to Voxton's in the chat. Voxton
oh
knows
hell yeah.
what's up with these horses. So this is the place to be. It is the place to be. We got lots of cool stuff to talk about. We've got our paranormal topic this week is going to be an update on whatever it is that's underneath the pyramids, whether you believe there is something underneath there or not. There seems to be some type of proof, speculative proof that there is something underneath there. And then for sports, of course, we're going to be talking about the NBA Finals. My Pacers are down 2-3. We're going to talk about Caitlin Clark. And also, Mo wanted to talk about the greatest baseball player of all time. For some reason, he apparently thinks it's Aaron Judge. I think it has something to do with Mo is a New Yorker, and so is Aaron Judge. A New
The
York
team is
Yankee. I don't know.
assembled to
I think
find
he's a
it.
little bit crazy. Maybe you can give me some stats to convince me. And then in politics, of course, there's a trillion things to talk about in politics. I'll try to not lose my temper when we get to that section. Web3 gaming. Mo's got a few things about few things going on in Web3 gaming that he's excited about that he wants to share with you. Shout out to Dane K's in the chat. Another triple OG. Thanks for hanging out with us, Dane K. Bought some blind box comics on VV today. We're going to talk about VV too when we get to that last section. We're going to talk about the crypto markets and what's going on with VV. It seems like a lot of stuff in VV they're saying is going to be burnt. The rest of the supply is going to be burnt on this one particular day, and then the day goes by and you can still buy it. So people are getting upset about it because it's a little bit of false advertising on what the final edition count is going to be on those particular NFTs. All right, let's get started with the paranormal topic. Mo, you sent me a video about it, and I was watching it. It looks like they're putting an official investigation into what's actually underneath the pyramids together. Is that right?
So, well, this is actually for the void that they found a few years ago.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so this is going to be the next expedition, I guess, that Dr. Zowie's going to allow, fucking gatekeeper. Yeah, it's up on the screen now. This was like a hidden void that they had found through scans. I think it was back maybe 2016 or maybe 2020-ish.
I vaguely remember it, yeah.
But again, Dr. Zowie, if it's not in his book, it didn't exist, and if he didn't discover it, it's not a thing. But it is a thing from what we know, what these scans have told us. So they're actually going to allow some sort of micro cameras and stuff to basically get in there. And I know Jimmy Corsetti, you know who that is.
Yeah,
he does a lot of the
History Channel stuff, right?
Yeah, he does like a lot of this ancient, civilization stuff with Graham Hancock, and he was on Joe Rogan as well not too long ago. But yeah, it looks like these things are a possibility of existing. What we're going to find in there, who knows? We still haven't found an actual, body or a mummy buried in these tombs. So maybe we'll finally find one.
The story is that the pyramids were built to be tombs, but there's no bodies that have been found in one of them, which is kind of wild.
That is absolutely wild. And now you do find bodies in, smaller pyramids nearby, which, have like worker, graves and stuff, but they're also usually depicted in hieroglyphics and stuff like that in the nearby area. So these people didn't really live their lives and not tell the stories. It's just not how they've really operated. So, we're going to find out, I hope, quite a bit about what's going on in this void. But what do you think's in there?
I can't tell the size of it. Is there any information about how big it is? Because it just shows like static, so it's hard to tell.
Well, yeah, so it's got a little
meters.
sign right here. I just happened to click right on it. It looks to be about 40 meters long.
That's huge. I don't know. Maybe it's another one of those chambers that they use to resonate the frequency of the earth and create energy with the pyramid, which is, of course, what some of the crazier conspiracy theorists believe that the pyramid was used for.
The pyramid power plant conspiracy, I
Yes.
think we might deem it to be less of a conspiracy as we start to get in more and more. Again, Tesla, we know how we feel about how I feel about Tesla. The way that his life was handled, his research was handled, and how we see bits and pieces of it come out from the government when they think we're ready for it is kind of weird. So the fact that he was getting free electricity from the ground and from the residents of the earth definitely tells you these things, could be a possibility. And
Yeah.
they found residue in, parts of the pyramids where it looks like there's different types of chemicals that were reacting with each other to create some sort of fusion, or maybe even like a, hydrogen-based, power effect. And then, sent up through the shafts. And don't forget, these shafts are, precisely tuned. And even if you go into like the king's chamber and the different chambers, like they're all tuned to a specific frequency. And I don't think it's just for some random reason. I don't think it just happened to work out that way.
Seems like something that would be too much to be a coincidence. Let me catch up with the chat. Shout out to everybody for hanging out with us tonight. We appreciate you. We got Viper active in the building. Says no politics. That's my favorite thing to talk about, bro. We gotta talk politics, especially right now. Dan K says Tony Gwynn is the best hitter of all time. What about Pete Rose? I mean, if we're talking just straight on getting on base, I can't go past my man Pete Rose, but I'm biased. He's been my favorite for a long time. Woody says lose your temper. It's fine. Don't worry. This week I got plenty to lose my temper about. Voxen says, been hanging in there, broski. Had a few things fall into place this month, working towards a few more, but we are all alive and living, brother. That's what I like to hear. What kind of stuff you got falling into place in there? And getting some horses together, getting some dogs together. Didn't Voxen do some of the dog racing? I got into it for a
You
bit,
did.
but yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the dogs, the horses.
Are they still doing the dog racing? I even forgot what it's called.
Muzz Run. Yeah, I mean, they're
Yes.
trying to keep it going. But
Nice.
me personally, I didn't really have the time to dedicate to PFL and Muzz. And,
Yeah. That's too much.
I'm still in profit to this day on PFL, which not many other barns can really walk around saying. And if anything, nowadays, I just break even, which some months is good enough for me if I get enough, data and information.
True.
Because that's what allows me to kind of dominate the horses that people are like, oh, okay, Mo, yeah, full of shit. But I have DMs with tons of people. One of them's in this chat. And I tell them before the season, like, yeah, this is going to be a horse to look out. Keep an eye on this one. This one I'm just running for data. I don't think it's going to do much. I want to see what the weight's going to do. How is it going to affect it? Because then when I run the next three, I know from the shitty one, what the good one's going to do. So I lose money to make money in the long run, I hope. But
Got to pay for the education. Woody says, I saw a theory that pyramids were built to conduct and store energy. Seemed pretty believable. A show called The Pyramid Code. Insightful. Yeah, that's the whole idea that the pyramid is actually some type of giant battery that was using the resonation of the earth. It gets complicated. We've talked about it a few times.
Well,
of course.
and it
I don't
goes
know.
even deeper than that.
Oh,
Whereas
yeah.
if you were to take all this energy and say, okay, well, where the hell is it going? Well, what does a pyramid do, right? A pyramid's designed the way they are because it funnels and it brings this energy up to a concise point at the top. And that's why they say back in the day, there was different, different granites and limestones that, were on the outer perimeter of it. It was more of like an insulator. So you had to have a conductor and an insulator, much like an electrical wire in our world. So where would this energy go? Well, shoot out the top. Well, we know that an obelisk, which is made out of quartz, which has some sort of energy perceiving material, could essentially create and receive that signal using Tesla's ideas of like the ionosphere, which is free, basically a free fucking barrier wall that encompasses the earth, which you can use to then send around the earth and bring down almost like a receiver into these obelisks. So if you really start piecing it together and why these things were made the way they were with the materials that they were, it makes more sense to me when you explain it this way than like, oh yeah, they just buried people there. Like,
Yeah, and it explains other things in history too, like why are they even building obelisks all around the world? For what reason, unless they're not all trying to connect to this same type of energy source. Boxer says, I think it's full of old copies of ET on NES inside the mystery cavern inside
that was
the
Atari
pyramid.
2600.
You never know.
The Atari 2600 was the ET debacle where they had to put him in the landfill.
Oh, I kind of remember that. Then he said, I
Yeah,
think
that
back
was old school.
when there was water there was actually flood trapped tunnels, kind of what they found on Oak Island. Yeah, there definitely was water there. There we see all the weathering and the Sphinx encapsulation And then I think they have said before that there were tunnels underneath the pyramid, but now, of course, these new scans show giant tunnels underneath the pyramid. And if those end up being true, maybe it had something to do with the water that was powering it, making those whatever columns were underneath the pyramid spin in some way. I didn't think about that. What's up, Thanu? We got Thanu's
It's
in this
possible.
chat. Good to see you, my man. Says Go Mint Medicaid NFT is at $4.50. Three max mini. If it's $4.50, I'm interested. If it's 4.5 ETH, I'm not interested. So I need a little bit of clarification there. Medicaid NFTs. Anybody else in the chat know about them? They know usually doesn't steer me wrong, so maybe that's something I need to check out. I haven't been to the NFT in a long time. Boxer said, just life stuff falling into place. My $2 hour raise. Let's go. Will be kicked in this month. Just got a loan for a car. Been all bicycle and feet for 3 years now. That keeps you healthy though. We made rent by Hail Mary Miracle, stuff like that falling into place. Haven't been doing much crypto stuff other than some Maple Story Universe. We talked about Maple Story on Tales from the Crypto before, and Tokyo Beasts. Yeah, sounds like good stuff falling in place then. What he says, you also see pyramids and ancient structures built on invisible geothermal and electrical lines like ley lines. I've heard that theory
Yeah.
too. The pyramids are all around the world, and those civilizations were not connected anyway. So why are they building the exact same stuff? Then he says this NFT has future utility, like a DC bat cow. Yeah, bro, VV NFTs have future utility too. It's just that the future is 5,000 years from now. I don't know if I believe in future utility. Sound
Yeah, I
like
don't know
it
if I want to help out
carries.
my grandkids, or like my great lineage. Like, I want to help me out. You know what I'm
That's
saying?
what I'm saying.
So,
Well, that's why people collect baseball cards and keep them until they're old and they pass away and pass them down. So I can see the it makes sense. If you're a collector that you want to have something that's going to be worth a lot of money in the future and you're going to pass it down to them, I just don't necessarily believe that NFTs are going to be worth a lot of money in the future. They could be. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I'll say that much.
I think certain ones will. I think certain ones, because we see it even with like physical cards, like the Panini, the ones that people hunt after.
Yep.
When you have this limited scarcity, like people will go crazy. And even what was it, the Lord of the Ring, Magic the Gathering card, like the one of one. And
Yep.
Post Malone buy that thing for like 2.5 mil.
Yep. And people are buying
Like,
those packs like crazy, just trying to get that one of one card. That I mean, the odds of getting is like hitting the lottery. So I wanted to get into it personally, but it was smart. It was good marketing, and they sold a lot of packs because of it. Thing who says that medicated NFT is only $4. So anybody else in the chat minting it, I'm kind of interested. I probably have to set up a new wallet or anything, but if it's only $4, maybe there's something to it. All right, Mo, let's move to our sports topic of the week.
yeah, right.
And our
It's the first thing we
hey,
had. What was your NBA? You go with your Pacers.
yeah, Pacers went up 2-1 on the Oklahoma City Thunder in the NBA Finals, best of 7 game series. However, they did go down 3-2 after their two home games in Indianapolis. Last one just wrapped up yesterday. I think it was game three. They could have won. They were just struggling on the free throws, especially at the end of the game. So now the next game is in Indianapolis. I'm assuming they're going to win at home. Not necessarily true. Both teams have won one at the other team's court already. However, if the Pacers are able to win at home, then it's going to be 3-3, and we're going to go to a game seven in Oklahoma City Thunder. So the NBA Finals will come down to a game seven. And if everything goes according to plan, they're saying that Tyrese Halliburton already up to this point has one of the most historic runs of buzzer beaters in an NBA playoffs run because he's hitting so many buzzer beaters to tie or to win games during this playoffs run. If he was to take it to game seven and win it with a buzzer beater, Halliburton, he would go down in history, probably become superstar status. So that's what I'm hoping for. But they're not the favorites to win. The Thunder are the favorites. They got a strong team and they got a super young team, so they're going to be good for a long, long time.
Yeah, I mean, I think I told you last week. I don't watch much NBA, but watching the Pacers beat the Knicks and just seeing the type of talent that they have and how they play, how they hustle, I'm a fan. But I want to ask you: are they as good as my girl, our girl, Caitlin Clark? Did you catch this? She came back from injury up
Yeah,
against
so basically
undefeated
she's been injured
Liberty.
for a while, and they went up against, I think it was New York Liberty, wasn't it?
Yep, undefeated New York Liberty 9-0.
Undefeated New York, and Indiana does not have a good record right now because Caitlin's been injured, and she just came out and just crushed them by herself. What she scored 30 something?
Yeah, she was just draining threes. I mean, the way she shoots threes is great. But dude, her like I said, her vision, her passing. There's this other that chick down low right now with the ponytail
Yeah,
and the
they
long
all got
sleeves.
ponytails.
Yeah, true. Um, the one with the white chick with the long sleeves. She she's pretty impressive too. I don't know how
Oh
she
yeah.
plays when Caitlin Clark's not in, but yeah, I mean, dude, this chick's insane. I don't watch still don't watch the WNBA, but I'll tune into little Caitlin Clark action.
I still can't get into it, man. You watch the game and they're missing layups, and I can't do it. I mean, I'm
This
excited
team
for
don't.
Caitlin Clark. They don't
This
miss a lot
team
of
don't.
layups. Okay.
Not from what I've seen on the Fever. I was surprised because I was going through a highlight video, and normally it's just Caitlin Clark, but in this case, it had the whole team highlights, and I'm like, well, wait a second, these other girls are actually scoring. So I
Yeah, I
actually
mean, I know
watched the
there's
whole
some
thing.
shooters for sure. I've seen some YouTube videos of WNBA players, playing out at the park or whatever, playing against college players, and they are some shooters. They definitely do a lot of practicing. So I figure most of it is shooting. It's just that they can't hit a layup. All right, let me catch up with the chat.
That's
Daniel
actually what they were
says,
hitting the most of. That's why I was shocked. I'm like, well,
I'm glad to
if
see
you're
it.
getting
Hopefully they've
beautiful
been
feeds,
practicing.
you know.
Then he says, Monkey see, monkey do. I think civilization long ago was much smarter than most believe, but resources were primal. So to keep something safe, you have to get pretty inventive to hide stuff. Underground tunnels makes perfect sense. There were a lot of underground tunnels that were uh, dug up during early civilizations, so it makes sense. Absolutely. They
We had
got not
underground cities. You had what, during Kuyu.
what's that?
What was it during Kuyu? Something like that. During
Yeah,
Kuyu. Yeah, it's like the
yeah, I've heard of
underground
that.
city with like insane rolling doors and what the hell were they hiding from? Were they hiding from weather? Were they hiding from people, threats, nuclear, emissions? We don't know.
Animals, aliens, nobody knows. Woody says
Yeah.
Clark is the GOAT. Yeah, I saw a stat where she had already became the second person in WNBA history to do some feat that the first person, Diana Taurasi, did after 450 games, and
Yeah.
Caitlin Clark had like 40 games. So I think she is going to end up being the GOAT as long as she can stay healthy. Rob T's in the house. What's up, Rob? Good to see you, my man. We're doing our Tuesday Tales from the Crypto show. Good morning. We got Abdullah here as well. All the OGs tuning in. You got here
I,
before the fireworks started because when we get to
I
politics,
just
man,
I just
Viper
want to say
says
that you can't just throw it out there and be like, well, as long as they stay healthy, because you could say that about anybody. Like anybody can get hurt, any given
exactly, but
play, any given. Now,
that's
some
how
people
it
are more
is though.
injury prone. You could be
There's
like, well, if a quarterback gets hurt 3 seasons out of 4, you'd be like, well, he's prone to injury. Yeah, that I'll buy. But
Well, my point is that there's probably been lots of players in the NBA, male players, came out, got drafted. Everybody's like, this dude is going to be awesome. And he would have been awesome. He might have been the next Jordan, but he broke his leg or something, or he tore his ACL. So, as
that's
great as
fair.
they may seem, it's still early. You haven't accomplished. If she was to go down now and never play again, she wouldn't be the GOAT. So, she still got to stay healthy. And I say bring a chip home to
She
Indiana.
True. She might not, go down as the GOAT, but it'd still be hard pressed and probably be a long time before some other chick comes out where away teams are moving the venue for when the Indiana Fever come to town. Like you're taking away home court advantage the second you have to move to a new arena. So, the fact that other teams are accommodating what this girl's doing for the league, to me, just speaks volumes more than even what she does on the court. That's.
Viper knows all the WNBA players. He's got Sophie Cunningham, the Enforcer, Lexi Hull, Aaliyah Boston. I don't know any of them. All I know is the other girl. I don't remember her name now. The one that I was also a rookie at the same time as Caitlin Clark that I like but never hits a layup. And then the old school people like
Oh, Angel
Taurasi,
Reese.
Angel Reese. Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Daniel C says we got to watch the F1 Academy races on the weekend. The all girls F1. Those girls are straight crazy. Wait. They have a girls F1. Are you talking about like female drivers? Ah, man, I don't know if I want to race with a female driver. Girls can't drive, man. They'll probably crash like 10 times a lap. I don't know.
Bro, that could be wild. It would be even crazier if it was like an Asian woman's driver's league.
Oh my
That would be
goodness.
sick.
That would be entertaining. Lots of crashes.
I'd watch it.
Lots of We got OG Big A's in the chat. What's up, Big A? Good to see you, my man. Rob T says Nike Kobe 5 Caitlin Clark player exclusive comes out at end of this month in Indiana Fever colors for Vault and Mode Sport. Nike, are they some shoes? Man, they're not pink, are they? Some Caitlin Clark shoes? See, I don't think I can wear some Caitlin Clark shoes. I'm sorry. They're Kobe's though. Angel, yes, that's her name. Thank you, Woody. Me Bounder, the Angel Reese, she's the rebounder. And the prey-ups, her layups are prey-ups. They have a Netflix series right now. Ken Block's daughter is a driver. Okay. So yeah, they do have female F1 racing. Like I said, I'm there for the wrecks. And then also, Mo, you had mentioned something about Aaron Judge, the GOAT. That's all you said. And I was confused by that because, I mean, Aaron Judge is pretty good, but man, there are some great baseball players in the history of the game. I'm a big fan of vintage old school baseball. So what makes Aaron Judge the GOAT?
I mean, again, someone I've been watching baseball since I was a kid, and we've seen some shit, and even with like McGuire and Sosa, and then we're popping off in Bonds. It was always like, they either look sus or we knew they were already sus, like of what they were juicing or doping. But then you look at a guy like Judge in a post steroid era, dude. The stats that this guy's putting up. Now, some of these stats are adjusted for like the era, so I mean I'll buy that. But I mean, batting stats, he's got like a 294 average, 341 home runs, 776 RBIs with a 410 on base percentage over 10 seasons. His on base plus slugging percentage is like astronomical. It's like 70% better than every other player in the league. Runs created plus minus is like 775% higher. This is just like, it's not like he's like a little bit better. Dude's just insanely fucking better. 40 multi-home run games in the first 1,000 games, 5 more than any other player in the span. But his batting average and the way he just plays, and he's got fielding accomplishments as well. I don't know. Set the AL single season record. Now, again, you could even say, take away the steroids. Does he set the actual record? You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
I'm just saying, like, he does have the stats, But
See, I don't know the stats that well. I mean, but it's hard to put him past somebody like, first I would say Babe Ruth, because not only does Babe Ruth have amazing hitting stats, he also has unbeatable pitching stats as well. But for a more modern player, do you think he's more valuable than Shohei Ohtani, who maybe doesn't hit quite as well, but is one of the top tier hitters in the league and is also a great pitcher?
if I had the number one pick and we're starting over, and I got the number one pick, I'm taking Ohtani. If he's
Yes.
pitching. If I had the number two pick, I'm taking Judge. Because the other person's, or I'm taking Ohtani at 2 if the other person's crazy, and decide. Because you could probably go 1A, 1B if Ohtani doesn't pitch. Because they did shut him down for a little bit, but I think he's coming back to pitching or might already be. But yeah, when I saw Ohtani a few years back, and I'm like, wait, he pitches like an ace too? I'm like, wait a second. Yeah, he's insane too. But yeah, I'd probably go Ohtani and Judge. Like, we're probably in a good generation of baseball hitting right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Rob T says those Kobe 5 Caitlin Clark shoes are Indiana Fever colors. They look nice. I probably would like those. They'll probably be expensive though. What he says, Walt, you need to go to a game, get that jersey autographed. We went to a playoff game last year. We went to the Knicks game, game 3, and watched Nimhard hit a buzzer beater to win the game. But we haven't been into any this year. We're thinking about going, if there's a game 7, to the actual arena where Indiana plays. Even though the game is in Oklahoma City, they open up the arena and they show it up on the big screen, which would be fun too. Then he says Joe Carter, underrated GOAT. No, I've never heard him as a GOAT. I mean, my favorite player is Roberto Clemente. You got great players out there like Ken Griffey Jr. I don't know the numbers that well, though. Of course, you got like Barry Bonds, and I personally don't hold steroids against any of the players like Barry Bonds. I think they should all be in the Hall of Fame because they're always cheating in baseball. Baseball's all about cheating. If they didn't get caught, the other people that were pitching to them, they were probably cheating too. They were probably putting stuff on the ball. And then, of course, you got Pete
But
Rose.
what are they doing now? Like, how are they cheating now then? Because it feels like it's in one
Oh,
of the
I'm sure.
cleanest,
I bet
purest
you
forms of baseball.
Aaron Judge is taking some designer steroids that are untraceable. There's always the designer steroids. They got these scientists. They're millionaires, bro. They hire their own scientists. Their own scientists are creating their own performance enhancing drugs that can't be detected. I mean, this is
I know, but
conspiratorial.
if they're not on the banned substance list, like, right?
Yeah,
So
right. Yeah,
A-Rod and other people have claimed that, right? Like, oh, I was taking it when it wasn't banned, and then they banned it, and
right.
it showed up anyway, right? Like, so if you decide to take some nutrient and some supplement, and you happen to like discover the cure or like some insane, aid to get you big and jacked up, and then other people catch on because you're popular and people know who you are. I mean, I can't really fault them for that. You know, it's different if it's already banned. Like if they're like, oh, it's banned substance, but I'm gonna go under the radar and take it somehow, you know, and get away with it. That's fucked up.
That
I don't
is.
buy that. But I don't think that's what
Uh,
they're doing. I feel like MLB and like these people know what they're doing, but it's just not banned.
Yeah, absolutely. Because that's how it has been in the past. There's stuff that wasn't banned at first, and then people started using it more and more, and they're like, all right, we got to ban it. But prior, those people aren't in trouble for using it before it was banned. They were not, they didn't break the rules. So if they were hitting home runs like Barry Bonds were, they would get to go in the Hall of Fame, even though that substance got banned later on. So it's the motto in baseball has always been from the 1950s, if you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Viper says the number of balls they have
True.
to replace after his at bats because he's tearing them up. Rob T says Don Mattingly, 84 to 87 for the Yankees. Yankees fans loved Don Mattingly. I watched a little
Yo,
bit of
Mattingly was good, bro. Plus, he had the mustache. He wore the
yeah.
fucking eye black. Like, he was
He looked like
chilling
a
at
state
first base all
trooper.
the time. But he was on TV all the time because he was the first baseman.
All right. Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So every time
Yep.
they tried to pick him off, yo, and back then, they
Makes
would try to
sense.
pick people off at first base, like for leading, like 7, 8 times a fucking
I
pitch. It
know
was
it's
crazy.
freaking boring. It's like I'm tired. Just pitch the man. He just keeps throwing it back to first. He's not getting them out, but they just keep doing it over and over. That stuff used to be annoying. I think they made them quit doing it as much because fans were tired of it. Foxton
It's
says
true.
Judge is an alien. There's a theory for you. Fanny says medicated NFT. It's an open sea. You need MetaMask. Oh well, I got all that. You need to mint it on Beast mainnet. You need to have Ethereum on base chain to pay for your NFT. As long as it's on base change, I ain't buying no NFTs on Ethereum. I ain't got gas fees like that, but base I will. Alejandro says Barry Bonds best hitter in history. That's what I'm saying. You can't hold it against them. Although the best hitter, he rose. You're
But he
talking about
wasn't
best
that
power
great.
hitter.
He wasn't that great when he was younger on the Pirates, man. Like,
He was a
the
lot
same way that
smaller.
McGuire wasn't that fantastic on the A's either, you know?
All right. All right.
He was okay, but he was part of the Bash Brothers because of Canseco. Even though I think Canseco was the one that got them all started on juice. That's a whole nother discussion.
Guaranteed.
Um,
He actually there's actually if you're an autograph collector like me, you try to get these cards with multiple players on it, signed by each player. And Mark McGuire will not sign a card that has Jose Canseco on it.
I mean, I
If he's
believe it. I was a huge Canseco guy growing up because not only did we
like
have the same initials, I he had like some like instructional video on how to hit, but it was I always thought it was funny because the last chapter was always kind of like, you know, when you can tell like a video's been spliced together and it
yeah,
just jumps to the end.
yep.
I was always wondering why the end of the Jose Canseco video kind of jumped like that, but I was like, now I get it. They took out the point where he was like, don't forget, kids take steroids. Juice up before every game. You know, and parents didn't want to have that, right? So propaganda and shit, my dad probably cut it out, but or maybe the video store did, but no, it's a joke. But he did have a video that I remember watching.
I kind of
Shout out to
remember.
Ochi, by the way, over my chat. Unk was over there as well. Guys, we're on OG Vault if you want to pop in on YouTube. It's where the main chat's happening. I'm just testing something out over on
Or you can
Twitch.
just hang out
But
over there. Mo will catch your chat and read it to us so we can follow along. Rob T says Bonds, the best hitter, and Clemens, the best pitcher. You
Clemens
can't
was
go past
good.
Nolan Ryan though, man. How can you be better than Nolan Ryan? Danielle C says Cal Ripken, best hitter ever, best third baseman, mate, or is he more of a shortstop? I don't know how
Yeah, I
Ripken
was
could be.
watching Randy Johnson. That was probably one of my
Randy
favorites to
was,
watch pitch.
yes, Randy Johnson was that dude. News
Man was
Now
a
Marijuana's
beast.
in the house. What's up, News Now? Says Judge is legit and is not cheating. Pitchers are still cheating today with sticky stuff. See, they're always trying to cheat. They're taking growth hormones. I would not be surprised. Pitchers always have the advantage and usually gets the benefit of the ball strike call. Eh, I don't know if that's necessarily true. Maybe it is. I haven't watched that much lately, but I see a lot of bad calls sometimes. Rob T says, don't sleep on Ricky Henderson. I was going to point out Ricky Henderson, one of my favorites too. Not only is he a good hitter and get on base, he could steal a base left and right. Oops.
Yep.
Viper Active says, how many times does Judge get intentionally walked compared to Bonds? That'd be interesting to look at. I kind of want to look up stats now and see what these career hitting percentages were for some of these players who had the highest hitting percentage because that's what matters most, or maybe on base percentage. Then he says MLB in the 80s and 90s was just a party. Well, they were doing some drugs, that's for sure. 90s
The
Braves
amazing
had the
Mets,
best
bro.
pitch.
You had the Mets with fucking Gooden and Strawberry, bro. They used to
Yes.
fucking I think they were neighbors or some shit. They used to party all the time, like smoking crack and then going to the game.
Dang, there was
But
this
they were
one pitcher
amazing.
too. I think he was a Pirates pitcher. This is more 70s though, but he would take acid every time before he pitched. They made a documentary about him. and he was really
That's
good too.
wild.
I can't remember his name, but it's a good doc. I think it's on Netflix. I don't know if it still is, but yes, the some of those players were pretty wild back then.
And the
100%.
Braves pitching trio, shit. So I know Glavine,
Smoltz,
Avery,
Maddox.
Smoltz, Maddox was later on, I believe.
Okay.
He started in Chicago, I think.
He played for a long time. Greg Maddux is crazy because he looks like he's an accountant. And the reason why he's such a good pitcher, a
Yeah.
legendary pitcher, is for one pitch, the knuckleball. He was just really, really good throwing at the knuckleball. And I saw the other day where there's this new rookie coming up who's a pitcher who's really, really good throwing at the knuckleball too. So, I mean, you don't even have to be an athlete. If you can just master the ability to throw the knuckleball, you can possibly make it to the major leagues.
Yep. Or throw sidearm. If you can learn how to throw like submarine,
Yeah,
really
those are
from
hard
like
to hit. Those
underneath,
are hard to
super
judge.
hard to hit. Yep.
Yeah. Viper says David Wells. He was a power pitcher.
Yep.
Was for the Braves
Toronto and
though?
then the Yankees.
Oh,
Yeah.
no. Denny OC says they'd be lit before every game and after. Yeah, 100%. Viper says Roy Halladay was a beast. Absolutely. So many complete games when nobody could pitch past 7 innings. See, I go back to the old school though. I'm a big Raleigh Fingers fan, and I'm Pedro Martinez. I like closers like that. Like Raleigh Fingers was one of the best closers in history. Maddox and Pedro Martinez, best pitchers. Yeah, Martinez is another one. The Yanks dugout must have been insane back then. Yeah, they all probably had red eyes. Rob T says
This
Judge has around hold
target.
on, he's got the stats for us. Judge has around 82 intentional walks in his career, and Bonds has 688. The only guy with over 400 intentional walks. Imagine if he would have got pitched to on those 688 at bats, how good his stats would be. So, I mean, I feel like Bonds deserves to be in the Hall of Fame
Fake
and
news.
is one of the
Fake
best players of
news.
all time.
This is who I thought was going to go down as one of the greats. Look at these killer instinct eyes. Remember Juan Guzman? You know what I'm talking about here?
Oh yeah, I definitely remember
Like,
Juan Guzman. Yeah, he never
played for the
really did
played for the
amount to
Blue
be my
Jays.
whole lot. He was an all-star and everything, but yeah, not a Hall of Famer or anything.
No, no, but early on I was like, this is going to be the guy, man. I had all of his cards, whatever. I think I even had like an autograph or some shit from somewhere, but
Nice.
yeah, thought this was going to be like the dude.
Yeah, there's a couple guys that I collected that didn't end up being as great as I thought. Ruben Sierra was a big one for me. I collected Ruben Sierra cards, and I guess Kirby Puckett ended up being pretty good, but I liked Kirby a lot.
God, I remember like looking at these cards sometimes. I'm like, I remember these. The Donruss. Oh man, it's insane. Memories, bro.
That's why I still have a nice baseball card collection. I look at them every once in a while. I actually listed some on eBay the other day, a Clemente and a Sandy Koufax, but it's nice to look at them and kind of relive the days of when you first started collecting back in the day.
Oh fuck yeah, dude. All
All
right,
right,
that
let's
was
get
pretty
into
much
some
all I had for
politics, man,
sports. I don't know
because
if
there's a lot going on in the world of politics.
yeah, I don't know shit, where do we begin?
Well, let me begin with my question that I like to ask you. Do you regret your vote yet?
Oh no, definitely not this week.
Definitely not this week. Oh, so you're happy
Definitely not
where
this week.
Israel has invaded Iran?
Well, it's not just us. I mean, there's like 19 other countries or whatever said that they were way too ahead of their uranium enrichment, which I'm not a scientist, but sounds like it could be accurate. If that's the case, I've always been a supporter of this, even back during the, weapons of mass destruction days. I don't like my enemies or people that hate America and other countries near them to have nukes. I just don't think it's a good idea. Like, it's just not something I'm a fan of. But so in that regard, yeah, I'm on board with it.
All right, well, I mean, you can go back to Netanyahu going out on the world stage in 2014 and saying that Iran was 2 weeks away from getting nukes. And then he went back out in
Oh, I know they've said it.
2018. And in 2018, he said Iran is also 2 weeks away from getting nukes. And then Barack
Go back further
Obama
than that.
had, Barack
Go
Obama
back into
had
the
a
90s.
treaty. The treaty that Barack Obama had with Iran was to prevent them from developing nukes, and they were able to have international agents come in and check their facilities to make sure that they were abiding by the agreement. And by everybody's reports, they had 100% abided by the agreement. And then Trump came into office and removed the Obama treaty with Iran to not develop nukes. And of course, they started developing them. And now his whole argument to them, this deal that he wants to pass, is basically the deal that he had with Obama in the first place. So, what was the point of removing the deal and then complaining that Iran is building nukes? I mean, we had a deal in place. He's the one who removed it. And it's just wild to me that he's tweeting out stuff like, Tehran needs to evacuate immediately. That was at like 2 a.m. in the morning for Tehran, which is the
Yeah,
capital of Iran. And like
that
all
place
these
went
people are
crazy.
trying to leave the city at the same time. The traffic's all backed up. Like even if that's not an attack, it's like a mental attack, mental warfare. I think it's just I think he's a crazy person. Did he not just say the whole point of electing him was that he was the president of peace and there would be no new wars underneath him? And that was the first thing he's doing is starting all these wars with everybody.
I mean, you could. I mean, I would probably agree. It could be a war by proxy. It could be a proxy war until we officially get involved. Yeah, I'd probably buy that. But I don't know, man. I stand by it, bro. Like if these guys are walking around, and it's not just me making it up, because again, other countries have had an issue with it. How fast they've been progressing, and I take it from this guy. This is they have the video here. This
Well,
is
Israel has illegal nukes. Why is Iran not allowed to have nukes? I don't understand that.
because they walk around saying this.
Death to America, yeah, they should.
Yeah.
Because in
When you
1950,
chant
we
death to
removed
America,
the.
it's not just a slogan, it's a policy. Okay? These are the people, so like if I have a neighbor that's making some crazy shit and I like my neighbor, I'm like, okay, he's a level headed guy. Like he's not just gonna go kill me in my sleep with this. I'll probably be okay with him doing whatever the hell they're doing. But if I don't trust that motherfucker, oh hell no. And the way these guys walk around, they don't give any reason to trust them. You
It's
know?
not. It's not actually us that is even threatened because Iran, even if they had nukes, would not have the ability to get the nukes all the way to America. It's the fact that they
As of
live
right
close
now,
to
sure.
Israel. They want it there. It's really all about protecting Israel. North Korea developed nukes during Trump's first term in office. Nobody said a word. They didn't care because they're far away from Israel. It's all about protecting this one stupid little country that does nothing but lie and put out false propaganda and attack all of its neighbors. And we have to come in and help them every time. I think. Iran is like 40 times the size of Israel when it comes to population. So they have no actual chance of even beating Iran without our help. But they went ahead and attacked them anyway. And they're just like, okay, America, come in and spend all your money and fight our war for us. It makes no sense to me at all, like how people are okay with this.
I don't know if that's exactly how it's gonna go down, but if what Iran is saying is true, and this was a few hours ago, which is actually kind of wild. I don't know if you've really noticed this at all, but it's like watching an esport. Like you can go on, it's like the Iran defense Twitter, and they just have like they'll say like it's like good, yeah, right here, the Iran news.
Mhm.
We're back, Tel Aviv. Like, dude, they're just waking up tweeting this stuff, and it's like I saw
Yeah,
another
Israel
video of
does that
like
stuff all
India.
the time. Israel is like the kings of doing that.
No, I know, but I'm just saying it's kind of wild to watch. But I saw some. It wasn't even Israel or Iran. It was some like neutral fucking company, country. Dude, they were sitting around watching on two big screens like it was an esport. It
I
was
saw where, yeah, where they were having
wild,
a
bro.
wedding close by. They were having a wedding and they were like cheering, watching it right above, go by their heads, which was pretty crazy as well. Let me
I'm like, what the hell's going on? You know?
catch up with the chat. Viper says, exactly when the government comes to check how much money I have under my mattress, I take them directly to the mattress with the money. And Rob says, from Jesse Barfield to politics, yeah, we move quick around here. What he says, we have to stand by our word. If we're going to prevent nations from developing to defend themselves in Ukraine, now it's an arms race, which is what our defense contractors want. It's 1,000% exactly what our defense contractors want. And Trump had already
War makes
increased
money.
the military budget from 700 billion to 1 trillion before all this happened. So I felt like he already knew this was going to happen. And apparently he gave Benjamin Netanyahu the okay to go ahead and attack Iran. And I don't understand why we're at the beck and call of Israel. What is so important and special about Israel? What do we receive from this, our relationship with Israel? We give them lots and lots of money. We give them protection. We built their Iron Dome. What do they do for us?
Again, I think the point boils back to, it's just the same thing I dealt with in 2000 or whatever with, back in Bush. Like, if you have crazy people that want to see your people die, that are developing this shit, I don't like that. It's just something I don't like, and I haven't changed my stance on it in 25 years. So
Yeah, and if you want to, if you, as your government, if you want to attack and kill somebody for whether it be political reasons or to steal their oil or whatever, the way you would do that and to get the citizens behind you is to convince them that these people want to kill you. So I feel like that's just the whole point that they're putting that
we talked
idea
about it. I just showed you the
ahead so that
video
they have an
again.
excuse to attack.
No, but this is what they tell you. This is not some political belief. This is their way of life over there. Like they're raised with this, like the same way that you're raised a fucking Pacers fan, and me a Rangers or Islanders. Like that's how these people are raised. They don't have
I was
sports. They
definitely
just
not
believe in.
raised a Pacers fan at all.
Well,
I
but
don't think they're raised that way either. I think that's part of the propaganda, 100%. I think there was an attack just not too long ago where Israel had attacked some Iran proxy, and everybody was like, Iran is going to retaliate. Oh no! And all they did was send over some really small bombs, and they just, the Iron Dome ate them right up. I think this was last year, and everybody's like, well, that was a really muted response by Iran. I guess they don't want a bigger war. So they're the one that doesn't escalate. They're the ones that don't have the nukes, but somehow they're the ones everybody's scared of. It doesn't. It's just propaganda because Israel hates everybody, hates Iran, and they just want to attack her. I think because Netanyahu wants to stay in power and they want to give money to the industrial complex, the military industrial complex. I think it's all bullcrap.
I don't know, man. Like I said, when it comes to like Russia, Ukraine fighting for their land, what they think is there from that stuff, I'm always like, eh. But when you start being like, yup, they're just walking around saying "Dead to America," not a slogan, it's a policy, and we're building nukes, by the way. I just, I
They weren't
can't.
building nukes until Trump ended the treaty. So it's Trump's reason. Trump's
No,
fault
they
that they're
weren't building nukes because they had no money when they were strapped with sanctions. And then when Biden got into office, he unleashed the sanctions, so they were able to get money. That's
They're
why.
still not building nukes.
That's why
Nikki
their
Haley
budget went
said-
from like
Nikki
5 million
Haley
to 50 billion over the course of like 2021 to 2024. Like they had the money.
Nikki Haley's the head of intelligence, and she said in a report, because they do a yearly report on an assessment of the dangers around the world, and she said in Congress in her report that Iran has not decided to develop weapon or weapon grade nuclear weapons. And they just asked Trump about that yesterday while he was on the plane, and he said, "I don't care what Nikki Haley says. I think they got them." Like, how would he know? He has no freaking clue. What, because Netanyahu told him?
Oh,
It's
they
all
got plenty of clues. You know why? Because the same shit we just talked about. I don't know if you ever watched that video I sent you, but that USAID stuff, dude. You telling me we don't already have people over there, or haven't for the past 20, 30 years now, just trying to undermine their regime from the inside out?
sure.
Like, that's
sure.
what those fucking covert operations that, Doge was trying to save, like, when you're like, oh, where's the money go? A lot of times that's where it was going.
But
Like,
if they were able to, if those people were undercover and were able to prove that Iran had developed nukes, they would have actually shown the proof and shown it to all of us so that we were behind them on this attack. So I don't believe that that's true.
yeah, but even like all the other countries, there's like 19 other countries on the list that'll show you that says that they don't believe that Iran's not developing nuclear weapons with the advancement that they say. That's just reports are saying that.
Absolutely nothing to me. I think there's just people trying to.
If other
get
countries are saying it, then I'm gonna believe
Trump's
it. If it's
best
just America, then
graces
maybe
so that
not.
he lowers their tariffs or something. Then he says, "Same bird,
Nah.
different colored feathers." End of the day, they're all buddies making money, and most of us aren't in the chat group. That's 1,000% correct. It was Tulsi, not Nikki. You sure?
You're not in that signal group?
I'm not in that signal group. I heard of a new signal group though, with the Democrats that they're saying that they're going to go along with the. Oh, I'd have to pull up that tweet. The big, what do they call it? The big beautiful bill.
Big beautiful Bill.
The big beautiful.
Oh, real
bill
quick before you go into that, my boy on Twitch wants to know it. Vault.
Yeah. What was that?
NBA Finals going 7 games? Yes or no?
Yes, 100%. I'm
There
a
you go.
Pacers fan.
We did
bro.
cover it already, by the way, Ed. So
Sorry, what was that?
no, he was just tuned in late, but I was letting him know we already covered it.
Yeah, in Indiana. I'm a big Pacers fan. Like I was saying earlier, I went to last year's Game 3 against the Knicks in the playoffs, so I'm hoping and expecting the Pacers to win Game 6 at home, take it to a Game 7, and then hopefully win Game 7 in Oklahoma City. I don't know if that's necessarily going to happen. But we got several different topics to talk about when it comes to politics because there's so much going on right now. Of course, we had the No Kings protest and then the North Korean military parade at the White House as well. And at the beginning of the day of Saturday, the day both of those things happened, there was this guy in Minnesota who went and shot 4 people, 2 of which were state senators, Democratic state senators. And man, I had a field day on Twitter arguing with people because they were trying so hard, and to this day, they're still trying so hard to convince people that the shooter was a Democrat or a liberal in some way because he was appointed by Tim Waltz
Fire
to
Tim Walls,
some
yeah.
small little bipartisan committee, local committee to his city or whatever. He wasn't actually appointed by Tim Waltz. He was reappointed, appointed by a different governor previously, which means absolutely nothing compared to the fact that his roommate says that he's a big Trump supporter and he would be insulted if you called him a Democrat. And he also said that he watches InfoWars all the time. The guy had a hit list with 50 people on it, all of which were Democrats and abortion providers. And to this day, Trump tweeted saying, talking about the shooter and saying, well, Tim Waltz, he was appointed by Tim Waltz, by the way. So they're still trying to convince people that this guy who is straight up MAGA as MAGA can be, a white Christian nationalist, that he's a Democrat. And at this point, like that type of propaganda, how can you be on the side of the people that are blatantly, purposely lying to everybody to trick them to saying this isn't our guy when it definitely, definitely is his guy? Are you not upset about that? It's breaking my mind.
It's definitely disappointing to some extent because I know it's like, well, we're not lying because he was appointed by Tim Walz, which again you could say is true, but that doesn't make him a Democrat. Like and like I said, if more information comes out, like I said, I might be right leaning, but I'm not a fucking retard, you know. And if more information comes out and we see it, then we'll see what happens. But either way, like the way it went down, it's like that's psychotic. Like had the body armor, had the fucking police truck, had all sorts of fucking gear to make himself look legit. And then these people just open the door and then boom, boom.
I don't
That's
think that people should have, even if you own a security company, you should have access to, I don't know, like the lights you put on top of your car. I don't think you should have access to that. Can anybody just buy those? I can put those on my car.
yeah. I mean, I don't know how real they looked. I know we used to get them back in even like the 90s. Like, oh, we want to go fucking off-road on the beach or whatever and put something on top of like my cousin's Jeep. We used to have some crazy fucking light, but I don't think, yeah, I don't know. I'm not really into fucking breaking the law and doing weird shit like that, so. But this is why, they were talking about it too. Like, if you're ever out there and there's one cop knocking on the door, don't answer that shit.
Yeah, from now on, I'm definitely not. Plus, the dude had like a latex mask on. The whole story is kind of crazy too, because when he was
Yeah.
at the third house he went to, another cop was already there. The cop went up to him sitting in his car with his latex mask on, knocked on the window and tried to talk to him. The killer, the shooter, just stood forward and never said anything to the cop. So the cop just said, okay, got back in her car and left. Some of it just does not make sense. Gasol says No Kings was massive. Yeah, they're saying it was the biggest protest in the history of the country. And of course, the whole military parade was a huge flop. There was empty seats everywhere. Trump's been really upset about it, so upset that now he says that he's gonna double his efforts for ICE, but only in Democrat cities that protested against him. Like, what kind of douchebag stuff is that? That's not a president. Presidents don't do that crap. He's such a douche. Like, who's supporting this complete asshole? I mean, he's
I
just
mean,
a
to be
little
fair,
asshole.
living in a blue state that is invaded by illegal immigrants, yeah, I think, they probably should send more to places like this, but not for that reason. It's a petty reason. I'll agree.
It is
But
a
there
petty
still
reason.
should be more agents coming here
Keep in mind that these are the
than your
cities
area.
whose tax revenue pay for all the subsidies and welfare of all these poor red states that are in deficits. It's always like California, the taxes from California pay for most of the subsidies that all these red states get. It's just wow to me. Woody says no, he was very right wing. People are to this day, even Trump, even Elon Musk, they're all trying to convince you that he's not. And it's just blowing my mind that they're even allowed to do that. Ah, Gus says Iran is preparing nukes. How you know that, Gus? Nikki Haley or whoever it was, maybe it
Well,
was
this is
Tulsi.
based probably on what they said a few hours ago, where they said they got something up their sleeve that they said Israel is definitely not ready for. So if
Well, did you
that's the
see what
case, then
China? Did you see what
well, I'm
China
saying,
tweeted?
what they tweet?
All right, so this one kind of, I don't want to say it scared me, but let's be honest here. Here, do you want to put me on my screen and I'll show you?
Yeah, your vault intel or from the vault, we calling it.
Yeah. All right. So this was the tweet that came out from Xi Jinping. Says the world can move on without the United States. 100 years ago, the British Empire dominated global commerce, commanding more than 20% of the world's wealth. Many believed its sun would never set. 200 years ago, France best rode Europe's stage. Its armies feared, its culture envied. Napoleon declared himself immortal 400 years ago, so on and so forth. So what they say at the end, Power wanes, influence migrates, and legitimacy dies the moments it's assumed rather than earned. Should America forfeit the world's respect, it will discover what every fallen empire learned too late. The world moves on always. So he's saying they could just move on without us.
Well,
Mo.
yeah, good luck with that. That's why they come crawling back when we're like fucking tariffs. Like, oh no, wait, we need you. But they could try. But we talked about this, right? Why do you think they want to phase out the U.S. dollar? Like they want to fucking get us out of the picture because then it makes it easier to be like, well, we don't really need the U.S. See, we proved it. You know, we talked about that. Not that I
Yep.
think it'll happen, but
All right, let me know what y'all think in the chat. Woody agrees with Mo. I avoid cops like the plague. Oh, I agree with that too. Gallup says not here in Florida, so you can't put those lights, I think is what it was. You can't put those lights on your car in Florida. I know you can't here if you're like a volunteer firefighter or something. You can get the one little blue light because I think I had an uncle or something that would put on top of his and run through red lights. Big A says he didn't have a lighter on top. It was a black Explorer with dash lights. That's not what I heard. I don't know. I want to see. I want to go back and check because the story I heard is that he did have the lights on top. And I think you can actually see him in the dash cam of one of the other cops that pulls up. I avoid cops like the plague. As Israel-Iran tensions are rising as we speak. It's only going to get worse too, and America's in it now. And Trump tweeted today that America now has full control of the skies over Iran. So we are in that bad boy. We are in this. We are in at war. And the whole point of Trump was that he was never going to take us to war. America first. I'm going to be the president of peace. So nobody cares that within what 6 months he's already backtracked on all of that.
well, for starters, peace through strength sometimes is a valid way to life. Outside of that, bro, we gave these motherfuckers 60 days, bro. Like, come on. Like, people trying to get shit done. People, because then they're going to hold it against it. Like, well, what'd you do in 100 days? It's like, well, I sat around waiting for fucking Iran to make up their mind. Like, I don't know. Like I said, yeah.
I mean, why would
Hopefully,
Iran want to enter another treaty with us whenever we got rid of the last treaty that they were abiding by? What's the point of entering another exactly the same treaty, but with Trump and giving him a W? And they know, they hate Trump. I
of
don't
course
know,
they do,
man.
because he slapped sanctions on them and they couldn't make their fucking oil money.
Because he gives everything
First
to
time
Israel
around.
and lets Israel just attack their neighbors and then backs Israel up. Israel's like our little brother, and we're the big brother. And Israel, our little brother, goes around punching big kids, and we got to come and fight for our little brother and beat up the big kid for him. It's at some point you
I
gotta.
don't fully disagree with that. I
Say no.
don't. I don't fully disagree with that at all. But like I said, I still just take you back to, would you be comfortable with them having nuclear weapons? And I think the answer is
100%
probably
I
no.
would. I
You
would. I
would.
don't
You
see.
are
I
correct.
think they have a more of a right to have a nuclear weapon than Israel. DLC says every major empire has eventually collapsed. Exactly, and that's what China's saying as well. Rob T says, but didn't every major power try to take over the world? That's a good point too. Persia, Britain, France. Yeah, Napoleon. Yeah, they all try to take over the world first. But is that what we're doing though? Maybe that's our next step. Trump's going to try to take over the world, and then
Pretty
next
much
comes
already
our.
have, because the world relies on us. Whether it's through force or trade, I mean, in one way or another. Like, it's crazy.
Also, another thing going on right now that a lot of people are talking about is that Trump has decided to release a new phone, the Trump phone. Of course,
Hell
it's a
yeah, I was going to
low-end
say the new
$490
T-Mobile.
smartphone. And of course, he did that right after he set these US tariff policies that makes all the other smartphones more expensive.
Yeah, because his is built in America.
Are you not supposed to profit from being president? Isn't that the emoluments clause?
I think it's his kids that are behind this. I'm sure it's, I mean, it is his name, their name. I mean, logistics. I mean, Pelosi makes money off books.
Crime's legal, y'all.
Crime. I mean, crime pretty much should be legal. If you ever played SimCity, it's like, it's inevitable. You fucking, if you don't let, if you ever played SimCity and didn't let gambling legal in your game, you never made it. You couldn't make money. You get overwhelmed.
I don't know. I never got that deep into it. I played a little Sims, but I never. Well, I think there's SimCity. I think it's different. Yeah, I was thinking of The Sims. My bad. Two different games. Big A says I stand corrected. If it had a light bar with just it did have a light bar, just with road lights on top. Okay, not a police light, but a bar that had blue light strobes on it. There you go. And that looks like a police bar, just having the big long bar, but it's all blue lights. The police one would have blue and red, maybe white. This one had all blue, but enough to trick somebody into thinking that, yo, the police. All right, any
Oh,
other poli or what? Well, first off, are you getting a Trump phone? Do you think it's okay for Trump to be selling his own phone? I guess you do.
um, I don't really care either way. I'm not gonna get it though. No, I'm gonna stick with my Galaxy.
What if you get a Trump coin airdrop for owning the phone the same way you if you had a Solana phone?
I mean, crypto's fucked. Why would I want more Trump coin?
Yeah.
Gotta sell what I got, man.
That was actually the thing that I was brought up earlier about a signal chat, a secret Democrat signal chat. It's actually the crypto plan that these guys, the Democrats, are apparently planning on go ahead and agreeing with and letting pass. So crypto could get a big boost because of that.
Yeah, I'll believe it when I see it. Democrats just believe it's still for criminals and shady operations. So
So it's a gold phone. The phone is gold. Of course it is.
yeah, I don't know if I mean the front can't be gold. That'd be fucking awkward. Might just be like an overlay, but
Give me a Trump phone and a Trump Bible and a Trump watch, MAGA hat, and just go and live in Texas, I guess. Did Bitcoin peak at 112,000? Nah. I think we're just getting started with crypto because this is a crypto president. As much as I dislike him, he is definitely super crypto centric, and I think they have a lot of plans because he's already got his bags packed and has not made a lot of money off of those packed bags from Liberty Mutual. You know, he bought all that crypto. They haven't made a bunch of money off of that yet. The plan, I promise you, the plan is to make a bunch of money. And when you're the president and you get to decide policy, he is certainly going to put some type of policy into place that is going to make sure that he makes money off of those investments in the crypto that he's bought in the Liberty Mutual Finance account.
liberty, liberty, liberty.
I wish I had some money so I could buy some crypto. I would buy the same things that the Liberty Mutual account has bought, which is, I don't remember, Ethereum, of course, Bitcoin, Avalanche, I think, Solana for sure. I don't remember what all they bought. XRP, I think, too.
Yeah, XRP makes sense. Yeah, well,
Oh, I
all
hear
charts
so
are pretty
many.
much doing the same right now.
I
Everything
see so many tweets
plummeted.
that say XRP is going to the moon, and so many tweets that say XRP is a scam. It's hard for me to decipher which ones are true.
I mean, like I said, if it's true, and it seems like it is, where U.S. based currency or whatever, like if they're not going to be taxed the same, then sure, it'd be more of a win than holding anything that's based outside, right? I mean,
Right.
I just feel like not everybody knows that. Everyone's like, "Whoa, that's what they say is going to happen," but it seems like it's pretty much like done, right? I mean, am I wrong on that?
I mean, like I said, I see both. I see people say yes, and I see people say no, it's all fake. So, I mean, I don't know how to verify it for myself. I wish I did. If you talk to the
Yeah,
XRP stands, they're going to tell you it's all going to the moon. But if you talk to the haters, they're going to tell you it's all a big scam. But it did pump big a couple years ago, and that makes me feel like there's something behind it. And the fact that, of course, Liberty Mutual's got a big bag, that's important too. Rob T says Trump Mobile, are they going to have a limited is it going to be a gold limited edition version? I think they're all going to be gold, but they'll probably have a limited chase version too. If you get like a blind box phone, if you get lucky, get the diamond Ivanka version. Rob T, sorry, Viper Actor says the gold member phone signed by the fat bastard. I love gold. Yes, gold member will definitely buy one of these Trump phones. What he says, they have 80 to 90% of supply of the Trump. Yes, and the unlock should be happening soon too, right? They pushed the first unlock back, so I don't know the new schedule for unlocks for the Trump coin. Gasol says, when is Trump's impeachment? Unfortunately, it ain't happening. It should be yesterday, but it is what it is. Big A says he's got the Liberty Mutual Holdings here. What's Ondo? ETH? Move. I've heard of Move, don't know what it is. Solana, SEI, which I still don't know if it's a new chain, I think. Chainlink. I don't know what Ondo is. I don't know what EOS is, and I don't know what ENA is. So I guess they don't have XRP. BK says, y'all missing biggest Trump story with Justin Sun and Tron. I saw a tweet about that. Justin Sun is coin. Something about this new coin, Tron, is going to be released in like a month. Maybe you can give us more info. Do you know anything about it, Mo?
Tron?
Tron, yes. And big shout out to C Spill. C Spill just jumped in the stream last week too, and I forgot to say what's up to him. Good to see you, my man. Do you know anything about? He's talking about Omi. I don't know, C Spill. I just gave you a shout out, and then you brought up Omi. I might take that shout out. I'm just kidding. Maybe y'all know a little bit about Tron. You can let us know. I'll do a little bit of research on it. Shout out to Smurf Dabs in the house. Smurf Dabs is the homie. He hooked me up with that the Peppa Pig project I had
I mean,
told
the
you
coin
about.
sounds familiar, but I've bought and I might have bought so many different Tron lookalikes or
Yeah, I've heard of Tron
wannabes, and this
before,
might
but
be
this
the
is a
real
new
one.
one. It hasn't even released yet, and I think you can get into it early right now. I just saw a big tweet about it, but the tweet kind of went, viral on crypto Twitter, so a lot of people know about it already. As you can see, Big A's bringing it up. Did you see? Oh wait, let me see what he's saying about Omi. Omi is almost back in my range. What, 0001? I know it's getting low. Daniel C says, I do still think we will see a huge market crash here sooner than later. So you think a market crash? I think a stock market crash, and that's going to be the crypto pump because they're going to be messing with the economy, dude. I don't know
Oh
what's
yeah,
going to happen.
that's what happened last time with the uncertainty. They took all the money out of the markets, they put it back into crypto, and then when things kind of stabilized with the agreements and tariffs not being so rough, they backtracked. They took all the money out of crypto, and then crypto
Yeah.
fucking plummeted and went back into the market. It's yeah.
So
Listen,
almost like
we're
a
not just
pump and
gonna
dump,
have more
man.
money. Like the money has to come from somewhere, right? So
C Spill's got the Vance token, bro. You bought a token named after the assassin guy. It probably will pump, unfortunately. We got Jeff in the building. What's up, Jeff? Isn't Tron an old coin? There's definitely an old coin called Tron.
yeah, that's why I'm trying to look at my portfolio. I'm like, I
And
could
I
have
think
sworn I
there's
was
a
either
new one
tracking it or I
too.
own it. But again, it
Panini
could
is
be like the fake one on Solana or this one, you
right.
know. Yeah.
C-Spill says Panini is back into NFTs. I didn't know they left. Sold out in 30 minutes for Flawless NBA yesterday. How did people hear about this then?
Wait,
Like,
they
what
got
is this?
WNBA too?
What's that?
They got WNBA for the Panini NFTs?
Ooh, do they? I would like to get me some Caitlin Clarks and
Mm-hmm.
Angel Reese's. Rob T says Tron, the 1982 movie and the remake. They just remade that. Gus Hall says Cryptoys rugged. Did Cryptoys rug? I didn't hear that. That's big news if so. Candy changed blockchain for the 10th time. Yeah, the DCs have changed platforms so many times at this point. I still
Oh,
have my
they do have
stuff.
WNBA.
Ooh. I bet NBA Top Shot does too. I still got my Top Shot moments, some of them, not a lot. Denny OC says, I think all markets are too inflated. Either dollar goes to zero or market crashes. Pick your poison, not fear. And then, will the Trump supporters still support Trump after the market crashes? Yes, they will. I'll come on here and say, Mo, do you regret your vote yet? And he'll say, no, the market should crash. We want it to crash. I don't know why, but they always come up with some excuse. Told y'all I'm salty today. C Spill says $250
Oh,
a
markets are
pack.
crashing right now? I don't see any markets crashing.
I mean, we're just
I'm up
saying
on I'm
any
up on a
day
lot of my
now.
investments.
You never know. Yeah, that seems like a lot, C-Spill. 250 a pack, 26. If it was 2,600 cards or 2,600 packs, that's 10 over 10,000 cards, 13,000 cards. Big A says no TRX is, oh, Tron is TRX is the ticker. A Dino coin. Justin Sun went from SEC investigated to Trump coin biggest holder, and now, yeah, they dropped the investigation on this Justin Sun guy because he bought a whole bunch of Trump coins. He's now the biggest holder, and now, of course, uh, Trump is just giving them free stuff and helping them as much as possible because crime is legal, y'all. What he says,
Crime
I
is
remember
legal.
people saying Justin Sun was responsible for the Luna crash. SEC had charged, but of course dropped it now. David Yu, I believe, also knows him. Of course he does. Of course he does. Rob T says next Tuesday, Funko drop Marvel West Coast Avengers before this show. And yeah, a lot of people were commenting on that in the VB community because I think this is the first time Marvel has dropped any NFTs besides VB. They are now expanding their license out to Funko, and Funko's been having a lot of NFT drops that sell out fast. So sorry, VB fam. It's over. Big A says I DM'd you a tweet with the details. Let's go. I'm gonna check it out. So what do you think about that, Mo? The Marvel dropping on Funko now, NFTs.
I mean, we knew it was coming, bro. Listen, you can't date some chick and then keep telling you're gonna fuck her for like 2, 3, 4 years and then expect her to stick around. Like eventually you have to put up or shut up. Vivi can't get it done, bro. Vivi just cannot deliver on every promise that they made to Disney and Marvel, and yeah, this will be what happens. Cryptoys, seem to get the license from Disney pretty easily. And I'm sure they'll continue to whore it out. But
100%. Big A sent over a little bit of information on this. Says the Tron was investigated. Okay, so it is an older coin. It was investigated by the SEC for market manipulation. Then Justin Sun became the top holder of Trump and World Liberty Fi coin. Then the investigation was dropped. I wonder if those two things are related. And then Tron goes public via reverse merger with Eric Trump taking a role at the company. Crime season is here. I would say to get into this coin Tron as soon as possible. It's probably going to the moon. It probably already pumped so much that we're late anyway, but maybe they're going to be able to bring retail in to start buying it. And if so, then getting in now could pay off big. Not financial advice. C-Spill says these people are flipping those packs for 700. So you're paying 250, selling for 700. Oh, we need to get up in there and clock gate that drop, folks. I didn't know it was going like that.
seriously,
That sounds delicious. Rob T says 22,000 premium packs, $30 each, and 24,000 standard packs at $10 each. 8 redeemable. Okay, so that's the Funko drop. 8 redeemable Funko physical pops around. That's a lot more affordable than $250 a pack. But if you're selling those $250 packs for 700, then I need to get into. We need to get into this stuff. Have you ever went for a Funko drop, Mo, or a drop on the other platform, which was what was that other platform? Panini. You ever done either one of those?
not on Panini. I did sign up to do the packs on Funko. 'Cause I was trying to get like the Chaser. I forgot what it was, like Ninja Turtles or some shit. But I
Nice.
think I joined, I got in line, got in the queue, and I just lost interest.
All right, what do you think about this? What if we went early next week? We went live early and we went for the Funko drop live. You down to go for it? It's the first Marvel Funko drop, so it's got to be
Sure.
special, right?
Yeah, I'm down. What time is
Yeah.
it? Doesn't really matter what time. I'm down.
Anybody in the chat know exactly what time that drop is? We're gonna set it up. I might have to set up an account. I do not have a Funko account. I've got some Funko Pops, but they're physicals. Gallup says, "Did y'all check out Top's Bun?" I did check out Top's Bun. That looks pretty cool. That's something I'd be interested in. Gus says Funko NFTs are cool. They do fidgetals. I was wondering about those 8 redeemable
Yeah.
Funko physicals. Are there only 8 total? Because that's pretty dope. And what's going on with Web3 gaming? You said there was a couple of them that you were looking at.
Yeah, I had a few this week. Actually, wasn't even really. I guess it was some games themselves. Let's see. First, Steam, which is like the main, PC gaming platform. They're now allowing certain Web3 games to launch on there, which they were really against crypto gaming. So, we'll see what happens there, but
Did they go back and forth on that? A few years ago, they said they were going to, and then they changed their mind, so now they're back to doing it.
yep, yeah, I think the last change was like 2021. Yeah, I think Off the Grid is gonna hit the store, and then the other one, Bornless. It's quite a few.
Apparently,
what the hell
that drop
Sparkball
is
is.
at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard next week, and it's not the first Marvel Funko. I thought it was. The queue opens at 1:30. The drop's at 2 p.m., so a little bit earlier than when we go live. But I'm down to go live for that if you want to.
Yeah, I'll be chilling.
I need to get into Funko.
Yeah, so I mean, that's some of the news there with Steam. As far as games, I did see that. Was it the Penguins? Pengu? Pengu
Use the
Flash for
coin
Pudgy
for
Penguins?
Penguins, yeah.
Yeah, so they have a Telegram game coming out. I think tomorrow. Yeah, June 18th.
A Telegram game. That's interesting.
Yeah, that's how fuck, what was the other game? Hamster Combat? That's how you played that, was like your Telegram game.
Oh,
So,
nice.
yeah, this will start tomorrow. Yeah, other than that, I don't know what the hell this bomb token is. I started looking into it, but No idea. The Penguin Clash I thought was kind of interesting. I know a lot of people are into pudgy penguins. I think I
Yeah,
actually own I own the coin, but
I sold my Pingu. I got a Pingu airdrop and I sold it for a few $100. It was pretty nice. I didn't expect it. It came out of nowhere. And then
I
C-Spill was
sold it and I
asking if
bought it back at a lower value, and then I held on to it with profit.
smart man. A lot
Sorry,
of
go
people
ahead.
were saying to do that. They said it was a good coin to hold on to. C-Spill wants to know if DC still has drops. I never hear them. I just pulled up the Candy website. Candy website is still up and it still has DC on there.
Yeah.
They moved to Futureverse now. Futureverse bought them. And it looks like, yeah, they still do drops. They don't have anything good left to drop, and they're not dropping the grails that we want. Action Comics #1, Detective Comics #27. I don't know why. I still can't figure out why they're not doing those type of drops to build up the user base and excitement. Maybe now that they're at Futureverse, somebody over there will drop those, but they're still doing drops on Candy as of right now. Not exactly sure how that works. Rob T says, so he's giving us the information on the Funko drop for next week. There's going to be two Grails that are 999 editions each, then four Legendaries 1900 each, one Ultra with 5,000 editions, and then one Royalty with 2,400. The numbers adjust if the packs don't sell out. I've been reselling packs, so he's not even opened the packs. He resells them. I've talked about it many times. I have a mental disability to where I can't resell unopened packs. I have to know what's inside. What if I sell something with a freaking grill in it, man? I can't.
Yep.
I gotta open it. It's a mental block. I don't know why. Rob T says Toy Story bought for 30. They resell for around 55, 60, and same with Avatar Legends packs. So just buying the packs and resell them is double your money. But you might have a grail in there, bro. Big A says 000 Gaming pre-sale application closes in like an hour. I need more
Oh
info.
boy.
What is 000 Gaming that closes in an hour? Pre-sale application. Big A got all the alpha. The A stands for alpha. I'm not exactly
Oh
sure what
yeah.
this, but it's probably something you want to jump into. Mo, you know anything about 000 Gaming?
No, no. I usually take him up on like one out of every 10 that he sends me.
He
The other
sends good
nine,
stuff.
I regret.
Every time I don't buy something that Big A suggests, he'll come back a week later and be like, "I made 5,000 off of that." I'm like, "God, I knew I should have bought it." Rob T says there's a queue that opens at 1:30 for the Funko drop Eastern, and you can do a gate. Oh, like Candy old school. So you can do the Chrome Gate. That's the gate. We call that Chrome Gate. So you can do Chrome Gate on these. So you're guaranteed to
Oh
hit some. I
shit.
do open packs too. Do they mint in order? Are there serial numbers? I need the alpha on the Funko. Never done one. We're gonna learn about it next week though. I opened a G.I. Joe and Always Sunny. They have Always Sunny in Philadelphia. They got any Goonies over there? I've been waiting for somebody to drop some Goonies NFTs. That's my favorite. But yeah, I'm
Goonies would
interested
be
in that.
cool.
Yeah, I'll check that out for sure. It's gonna be a Marvel drop. It's gonna be like a blind box, and they're not too expensive. So yeah, we might check that out next week.
Yeah, and the other news I had was Big Time, which I think we've talked about. Um, like an RPG, kind of like Destiny with NFTs, but the NFTs are all cosmetic, if I remember
Oh, I see.
correctly.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, that's now on Epic Games, so it's pretty big. But you can tell when people aren't playing games the way they do it. They're like reaching over 500 million gamers. It, that's just how many people have Epic, store installed, right? Like not
Right.
how many people downloaded their game. So, other than that, we talked about Boss Fighters. Remember that game where I
Yep.
told you like the boss plays in VR?
Yep. I
They
like
did
that.
they did a sale, and I kind of wish I would have known about this. I might have bought it. So I got money stuck in the damn platform.
Hmm.
The Boss Fighters sold out 500 token burner flex packs in a sale that took place last week in record time.
Oh,
Apparently, it was
really?
instant. Yeah, like from what I read.
People are getting into it, man. So there's other NFT platforms out there that are doing the things that Vivi was doing early on with the instant sellouts and lots of excitement and lots of carrots that they dangle that they'll never actually complete, but still, you can make some
Yep.
money off of it. Rob T says the Always Sunny in Philadelphia grill was only 396 and it was selling for over 500. Are you saying it would cost you 396 or only 396 editions? He got it in a pack, so he must have been 396 editions and it's selling for over 500. Don't tell me you got diamond hands on your Always Sunny in Philadelphia grill, bro. You better let that bad boy go. Sell it. Gallup says, what is Triple O Gaming? I don't know. I'm not sure. Big A says you got an hour though to figure it out and get in. C-Spell says, never heard of it. Yeah, I haven't heard of Triple O. We can look it up. What he says, I'm still expecting they'll drop more grills on DC. They did AC number 23. I think I remember that. I think I went for it, which is an ode, but not a grill. Yeah, I'm waiting for the grills, man. I don't understand why they would wait
Yeah.
4 years. I mean, Vivi would have done dropped every grill possible at this point, except for Captain America number one, of course. C-Spill says, what do people do for fun nowadays? Get on Twitter and argue about politics. That's me. That's what I do for fun. Maybe I'm different. And play Call of Duty. Rob T says, if you do drop, I'll be here next Tuesday. It's going to be early, apparently. Yeah, but I guess you're into Funko, so you'll be around for it. But I want to try to do that if I'm not busy. Who knows what'll come up by then? I'm a single dad. Things pop up. But with it being during in the afternoon, should be good to go. Maybe live stream the drop, hit a grill, sell it for a couple thousand and cash out. Can you cash out? I should probably ask that first. Can I cash out on Funko? Don't tell me that you got to
Yeah.
cash out on Funko Pops and they send you a bunch of physical Deadpool Funko Pops to cash out. I don't like that. I don't want them.
Yep. It'd be like me trying to cash out on open loot.
Yeah.
Wish they actually also did this other game coming out, which I'm looking into. Moonfrost, the OG mystery box. 150
Okay.
bucks, sold out 1,800 of them in 20 minutes.
Man, how are these places selling out? Like, where do people find out about them?
Well, this open loop browser is pretty popular from what I understand with like Web3 gaming. So,
Yeah.
because you want to play big time boss fighters, World Shard, Shatterpoint, Desolation, Moonfrost, and Kokudi. I don't know what the fuck that is. You have to come to this launcher. So when you come here, you're gonna see all the other games. You're like, oh, like what's this? That's how I found boss fighters.
Oh, nice.
Wouldn't have found that if I wasn't here going like, oh, I wonder what other games they have. And I was like clicking on the skins, and I'm like, oh, this shit's pretty cool looking. You know, that's why I
Dude.
bought like the ones that are $1, and I bought the one that's $7. You know, I mean, there's 1,200, 1,400 of them, but I don't know. The game ever became popular, and there's like millions of people playing.
The
Hey,
question is, will the game become popular? I feel like you could build a really cheap game and just make really good NFTs for the cheap game, make really nice looking NFTs and put them up on the market for 500 each, and people would buy them.
sure. That's why I tell people like don't overinvest in these games either, right? Like
Right.
I got screwed because I couldn't withdraw, but my initial plan was fucking brilliant. I jumped in right before the pump, bought the legendary for what 1,700, and it pumped 3,800.
Nice.
So I was like, all right, well I sold it for 3,200, played on the free version until it crashed again, and I bought the purple for 750, 700, something like that. Anyway, at the end of the day, I own like $2,000 worth of shit on the game for free, and I have like 1,700 bucks in my account that I can't withdraw.
Maybe one day you'll be able to cash it out and it'll pay off. Or
Yeah, one
reinvest it.
day,
Rob T
not
says,
today.
I guess on the Funkos, if they don't sell fast, they burn them at 5 p.m. I thought Funko sold out, especially with it being marble. Are you not expecting it to sell out? I don't want to buy something that don't sell out. Big A says, just checked, and the application for that 000 gaming closed 20 minutes ago. So you are too late. If you're researching it right now to get in, stop. You're too late. You get
Why you can't
USDC.
trust Big A, bro? It's always
yeah,
gonna
you
guide you down the fucking wrong path.
You can cash out in Funko in the same way you could with Candy, where they give you USDC. Gus Hall says, is Photo Finish Live still alive? Of course, Photo Finish Live is still alive. MoKnowz is over there live streaming it on his channel on Kick, maybe on Twitch too. It's the races. You still call the races, Mo?
Not really because of just mouth issues and stuff like that. But
Right.
oh shit, looks like one of my random ass Colts got a breed. That's cool.
Let's go.
That's $6.50 in my pocket.
Let's go.
Yeah, like now you can breed these lower horses for 500 Derby, which is roughly 650 USD. So
it used to be
I
like
have-
$60 minimum.
well, for the higher horses it still is.
Oh,
But
okay.
for people that aren't trying to chase, $10,000 prizes, it was stupid to ask people to pay 40, 50, 60 bucks to breed a fucking, a B plus or an A minus,
Right.
because no one's ever going to race them for high money. But now you can breed them for 650, and basically A minus to S minus all run together. It's just a little bit of weight, which is really nice actually. It works out perfectly for my type of horse. And now I have like all my 1 second screw babies that are coming down.
Hmm.
I racked off like this morning alone was first, second, fourth, I think.
Dang,
Um, yeah, I got my 900th win, and I got my 901st win right after. So
that's dope.
yeah, man.
Rob, Rob T says you have to buy the original packs with credit or debit card, but the resale is done USDC, and some items can be sold and bought on Wax. Ooh, Wax. I'm not a big fan of Wax, but yeah, that's how it usually is, where you buy the original pack with credit or debit card and you cash out in USDC. Big A says Avalanche launched a similar thing yesterday. You mint a free pass NFT, then you make an account on Playful. Not heard of that one yet. And there's daily quests for points that get you rewards. Man, you got to be involved in this stuff, but it pays off. Rob T says if you keep the redeemables after a few months, they mail them to you free if you live in the US. So you get the physicals. And now Dropio includes New York. So Mo can participate. Uh-oh. They're finally letting New York do things. I'm surprised. Big A says I tweeted it out the
Finally.
allocation link. It was live for like 5 days. Yeah, we missed it, bro. They actually resell better if they don't sell out lately. Oh, that's weird. They raised the packs this time for Marvel and they did West Coast Avengers. That's like one of the new groups, Marvel groups of superheroes. So it's not like Iron Man would probably do a lot better, Black Panther or somebody. These new West Coast Avengers, not a lot of people know those characters, so it might not do as well.
West Coast Avengers. That's like I'm gonna say it maybe, but did you see what they did?
Was it like
The
Snoop
Black
Dogg and
Panther.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, apparently there's like a new alternate time frame or whatever multiverse version of Black Panther, but he's white.
What?
I'm like, are
Is
you
he still
kidding me?
called Black Panther?
I don't know. I saw something about it and I'm like, that seems kind of weird. But I mean, hey, they do it to every other character, I guess. There's like a gay black Superman now or some shit.
Yeah, I like whenever they show all the alternate, is it the alternate Spider-Mans? And there's one that's from Mexico and he wears this thing on. There's all like millions of different ones. So yeah, I mean that's not new, but the white Black Panther is interesting. Very interesting.
I mean, listen, I don't really care. Like they can do whatever the fuck they want. I think no matter which way you do it, whether it's one way to the other race, like it's still lazy. Like the fact that these people, these creative people, cannot come up with creative ideas. Like, I mean, I never tried to make a superhero. It's probably pretty hard considering Stan Lee and some of these other motherfuckers have put their stamp on it. But you know, gotta be some sort of creativity, right? Like everything just rewashed, or let's just make this one trans, make him black, make him white.
Because they're all
You
about
know,
that short-term money. In order to make long-term money off a new creation, you got to build it up and build a character base. But if you do something that
yeah,
already has a customer base and already has a fan base, then you just remake it and the money comes in fast. So it's all about them short-term gains.
yeah. I mean, I guess, and that really was more popular for a while than blue-haired with nose ring liberals floating all over the place. So I guess that was a good look.
Rob T says Tigra, Ultron, High Evolutionary, Scarlet Witch, Claw, Wonder Man, and Mockingbird. The sad thing is I know all these characters because I play Marvel Snap. I got half those cards. Rob T says the Ultron Grail for 9.99 and then Tigra Grail for 9.99 will probably be the most. Yeah, that makes sense. Those
Oh,
are
that's
the
what I
new
wanted to ask you about.
monsters.
Actually,
What's that?
it's not Web3. Did you see there's a new Marvel game, mobile game coming out?
No, I didn't.
Like a team-based action. I don't know. I didn't really look too much into it, but I saw it and I was like, oh, it's probably something that you're gonna play.
And
Kind
they
of
had that
reminded me of
Marvel
like the
team up
Snap.
too for a while too. I like the card game. It's easy. I mean it's not easy, but it's like I don't have to use a controller and run around jumping, hit somebody. If I'm doing that, I want to use my Xbox. But if I'm playing mobile card games, something it's like Magic the Gathering, Marvel Snap is, so it's a lot easier to navigate when I'm just chilling on my
You
on
could
my
get real
iPad.
try hard. I used to do this. My boy Fo was like an ultimate. They're gonna be a pro mobile esport gamer, right? And
Nice.
he would always play these crazy games. But then when Call of Duty Mobile came out, it had a third-person mode. I used to borrow my girl's iPad, and I used to hook up my PlayStation controller to it with a Bluetooth,
Mhm.
and I'd be able to play Call of Duty Mobile with a controller in third person like it was SOCOM. It was
Oh
fucking
wow.
awesome, dude. But you want to talk about try hard? Like, I'm annihilating people because they're playing with their fingers and shit while they're in the bathroom, and I'm just fucking rolling through. Got the
That's a big
iPad up on a
advantage.
desk. Oh, it was fucking crazy.
And as for stuff going on in VV, maybe I know there's people that are more involved in VV in the chat than me and Mo, but a lot of people are
Yeah, what
saying
are you
that the
guys hyped
market is
for, man?
pumping right
Shit.
now. Everybody's saying the market is pumping on VV. I don't
Really?
know exactly what it is that caused the market to pump, but I did look at some of the stuff that I still own, and the prices are up. I listed a bunch of my stuff at the floor price since the prices had pumped a bit, but I personally don't have any clue as to what is causing the pump. I don't know if it's the new announcement that they made from the Ecomi Twitter about something to do with Coinbase. It's some type of new Coinbase listing. Big A probably has the alpha on this. It's some type of Coinbase listing, and it's not Coinbase Wallet because we already had the ability to buy OMI through Coinbase Wallet, and it's not an actual Coinbase listing where it pops up as an option on Coinbase, but it has something to do with Coinbase. I don't exactly know what it is. So maybe somebody in the chat can explain. Speaking of Coinbase, did you see where they were a sponsor of the North Korean military parade?
Were they really?
Yeah, they announced it and everything, like sponsored by Coinbase. A lot of
That's
people, I'm surprised
wild,
you
but
didn't
not
hear about it.
surprising, actually.
People on the left were tripping out about that. They're also sponsored by UFC and then some energy drink that apparently one of the president's son created.
I'm gonna bring up my BB collection real time. Take a look at the prices here. See what we got.
And you got a lot more stuff than me. We got OG Ledgess in the chat. What's up, Ledgess? Good to see you, my man. Rob
Wait,
T
what the
says there is
fuck?
no pump.
Where'd
Like
I get this stuff from? I got a BB Christmas tree? Huh?
yeah, they airdropped that. You got the
Oh
cheap one,
shit, son.
dollar
I got the
50.
cheap one too.
Rob T says, has my VB Goldmon sold? Of course not. No, I had it
Oh
up for
man.
3.99. I actually relisted it for 4.99. So it's not like I'm bringing the price down. I'm actually bringing the price up. I feel like there's not very many single digit serial numbers on the market. So eventually somebody's going to see it and pay up for it, I hope. Here you
What
go, Big
is
A's
this
got.
stuff? Eagle Eyes? Who the fuck is Eagle Eye? When did
You
I
don't know
get
who Eagle
this?
Eyes? He's the head
Oh, why do I
moderator of
own it?
the VB
Speedy the
Discord
racing
server.
snail? I didn't.
Big A says they are just moving the Coinbase wallet DEX to the main Coinbase app, but only for base tokens. So I don't know if it's as big a deal as the Omi homies are saying it is. Omi's just going to go down, says Rob T. That's likely.
Oh, I'm going for this.
Yeah, that was
Yeah, that's when
my
I
best
got
drop
talked
ever.
into the Epico fucking fiasco. Yeah.
I got the blue David U, sold it for
Oh, the
1900.
Fiches. This is from
Brock
Brock.
McBlockchain. And I
Yeah,
wonder
that
what
guy's
happened
cool
to
as
Brock
fuck, man.
McBlockchain. Is he still doing fishy stuff? Because he seems to have disappeared and he seemed to be a little bit disgruntled with the VV team. Last I heard, Ledgess says I've been selling most of my stuff on VV. Even Ledgess is selling. He's rough out there. Big A says you're still buying through a DEX. It's just you don't need to go through the wallet app to do it. You stay on the main app to do it. It's not like they are listing these tokens, yeah. And I don't think they ever will. So it's something for them, for VV and Ecomi to celebrate and pretend like they're doing something, which
Look
I
at all
don't
the
think they're
crap I
doing
got.
nothing.
I got desks. I got fucking Pink
Yeah, I like
Panthers. I
that
got
Disney desk a lot. I'm looking to see. You got the red Doc Ock, which is pretty dope. The red metallic.
yeah. I figured that was gonna be nice. I had to stand Lee from the drop. I held on to that.
Nice.
I got held on to all the Thanos and glove
Should have
stuff like
sold
that.
that Stanley. It
Fucking.
was worth a lot for a while there.
I know, but I love Stan Lee, and I was like, man, he's like
Yeah.
reaching out to you, being like, hello. Um,
You
I
got
got the secret rare
yeah, that red
logo
VB
on the
logo. I
drop.
had one of those and sold mine for quite a bit.
Yep, again, held on to it when it went pumping because I'm like, oh, it's fucking Vivi, secret rare, gonna go to the moon.
I mean, it's still good.
Um,
That one's pretty scarce.
yeah, Minnie Mouse. I also have 660, which like whatever.
Wow.
I've got
So
my
Rob
girl
T
America
says
Chavez.
Brock McBlockchain said publicly that there's no time on VV's calendar for him anymore. So does that mean they're not going to do any more feast drops? And like, why are they making all their members mad, all their users mad? Big A says Brock is huge into Banker Bot and doing well. He talked us into buying the $20 membership for just 1 month for free, limited NFTs, and it's just like $700 in 2 months for just 20 bucks. Why am I not getting into this stuff? I need to get back into crypto and NFTs. So Banker Bot, is this a Telegram bot? Man, people out here getting rich, and I'm just sitting here doing nothing.
I know
Nothing.
I'm sitting here looking at polar bears drinking fucking
Right.
Coca-Cola, which
Dang
is
it.
probably my favorite collectible on the app, honestly.
Really? How come?
sentimental. Just to the commercials growing up, the holiday season with the polar bears, and I don't know. It was a cool time in my house. So
100%.
plus it's sick. Like when me and my girl go look at lights during the holidays, I can like blow it up really big
Yep.
and put her like inside of it. It's pretty sick. And I've had
That is
people walk by and be like, "How did you do that? What filter is that?" I'm like, "Oh, it's like a Disney NFT thing." And they're like, "Oh, okay," and they walk away.
There's Mo out there advertising for Vivi. Legend says a few weeks ago I got very lucky. I minted two 501 Trooper helmets and a 1997 comic. Sold one for 1979, 1591, and 1,000. Yo, Led just made $3,500 in 24 hours.
Wee.
How did you get so lucky? Did you mint? Yeah, he says he minted the 501s. Oh man, they hooked Ledgess up. They were like, that's an OG. Let's give him some good mint numbers this week. That is awesome. Congratulations. What he says, that's how BB gets you with the nostalgia. Yeah, that's the whole point of it. But like as you can see from Ledgess, there's still the opportunity to make big money. You never know. And once you have the ability to gamble, there's people out there that do it just for the gamble. They love the gamble.
That's why you have to give somebody, and I think Vivi kind of started to get it. Like, how cool would the polar bear stuff have been if there was a special chaser version?
Yeah.
Like maybe
That's
where
not
you
bad.
shook it, like maybe where you shook it, like the inside had like the actual commercial video playing inside of it, like you can see it, or something
That would be
different.
cool.
But there's something that they could have done to make
They'll
like
do that more
a
often now with
unique.
the special edition one commons that they have. Rob T says, "How many did you mint though?" That's a good point because if he minted like 100 of them, then maybe he didn't make as much as I thought. But I doubt he minted that many. I'm sure he's way up on it if he made 3,500 in sales. That's pretty freaking. Wait, 2, 3, 4,500. Jeez, Louise. Yeah, my
You
bad
say
on the
3,500 incels?
4,500. 4,500 in sales. He sold one for 1,979, basically 2,000 gems. Sold another one for about 1,600 gems and another one for 1,000 gems. Phew. Pretty friggin' good. So, what are you watching this week, Mo?
Oh boy, I got a good one for you.
Uh-uh.
So I finished Lost. That was a fucking mind fuck at the end. 'Cause I kind of forgot what happened. I'm not going to spoil it.
So you watched it all the way to the end?
Yeah, I got to the end of it. And I got done, and I was like, shit, what do I do now? It was like 2 in the morning, and I'm like, fuck. Now I'm like contemplating life, and I'm getting all fucking crazy in my head. And I'm like, all right, I need something chill, funny. I turn on one of my sites, and new Owen Wilson show. Have you seen it? Called Stick.
I heard it was good though. I seen where he's like it's a golf thing, right?
Yeah, it's kind of like Tin Cup meets Happy Gilmore.
Okay.
Would be the best way to describe it. Really funny. There's one character I think some people would be like, "Oh God, it's gonna be one of these woke fucking shows." They seem to kind of put the kibosh on it real quick. It's only 4 episodes in, but we'll see. But it does have one of the funniest characters I think in any show. You ever watch Ted Lasso?
Nope.
There's a character on there named Beard, and he's got this crazy beard, right? Weird,
Yeah.
shocker. But he's just very sarcastic, funny, witty. Stick has a guy just kind of like that. And there's like one line early on where I'm like, oh, I fucking love this dude. Yeah,
Nice.
definitely check it out. It's on Apple TV. Called Stick. Owen Wilson. Definitely worth watching, man.
Yeah, I like Owen Wilson. He's a good actor. I don't have Apple TV though. Never had Apple TV, and I hear they're putting out some good stuff
Wow.
over there. Legend says he mentioned 8 comics and about 50 of the helmets, but he sold the helmets and rebought. Gotcha. Yeah, because they probably weren't selling out right away, so he had plenty of time to buy, sell until you get a good mint number. Man, pretty smart. Makes me want to get back into VV, but that's not gonna happen. I don't know. I think I'm done with that crap. Who knows? You never know. Never say never. For me, the only thing I've been watching is my stupid Pacers blow the freaking NBA Finals. It's not over yet, though. I feel like we're gonna come back and win it. That's about it. Just watching the NBA playoffs. Then we got the NBA draft. As soon as the playoffs end, it's gonna be coming up pretty soon as well. So I'm interested to see who gets who and also who gets traded. A lot of people are saying that Kevin Durant's going to go to the Spurs. If he goes to the Spurs, they got Victor Wembanyama and De'Aaron Fox. They might be the team to beat next year. So yeah,
I
that's
mean, they're
about it.
talking about him going to the Knicks too, and most
I
Knicks
heard
fans
that
I know are
too.
just like, "Oh God, please don't." Because if you
He's a
got to
little
trade,
overrated.
I'm saying if you got to trade, fucking Towns, right? You got to trade him, place him with Durant at this point of his career. I don't know. I didn't really like watching Towns. I feel like he forced way too many shots. But then again, I went to sleep and apparently he took over a fourth quarter and dropped 20. So I guess he can do
Yeah,
that too. But
I'm kind of split on Towns myself too. He seems like a crybaby to me, but he does some really amazing stuff. So I can see where you'd want to keep him.
I just think he's a better option than Durant. But if you really go, like, they fired fucking Thibodeau, the fucking
Yep.
coach. Like, again, I don't watch NBA, don't claim to for the past decade. But I did watch the Knicks at the end of the season. I've seen them on Twitter. They looked like a pretty damn good team when they were
Yeah.
healthy. So why not give them another year, with the same guys, same coach? But that's typically, I guess, New York Knicks fashion, right? Blow it up. Back in the day, they used to just fucking give big money contracts to like overpriced players. I remember like Houston. They
Yep.
brought in Allen Houston, like, and he was good.
They brought in Carmelo too, paid him a bunch of money.
Yeah, Carmelo. I remember like the Houston deal when they brought him in from Detroit.
Yeah.
Like he was killing it over there too. He just wasn't the type of guy that can take over a game. And
Yeah.
back then, you
He
had to
played
have a
for
Jordan.
Indiana in college, IU.
Did he really?
I think so.
Oh shit.
Let me catch up with the chat. Led
Yeah,
Jess
again.
says he's cooling down on VV, wasting too much time on it. Yeah, and the new stuff they have where you have to like log in every day and do this, and it's like I know ain't nobody got time for that. I don't even open my app no more. C Spill says Halliburton's hurt. It's over. He's not hurt. He is just whining. All these superstars whine. If they start to think they're gonna lose, they'll come up with some fake injury so that they have an excuse. I love Halliburton, but I that's what he's doing right now. He needs to suck it up. He's in the finals. Tighten up. He's playing it off because he did really bad in the last game. Rob T says our Knicks shit the bed game one versus the Pacers. It's the Pacers though, same team that beat them in the playoffs last year. We're like y'all's thorn in the side or whatever. We're arch
Yeah.
rivals now. Pacers seem to knock off the Knicks every year in the playoffs.
Yeah, like I said, I thought the Pacers looked good. Almost as good as this ultra rare, amazing Spider-Man number 129 cover.
Ooh,
I forgot I even had this fucking comic.
first
Another one
appearance
I
of
should have
Punisher.
sold. Yeah, but another one I should have sold at the top when the uh the ultra rare was actually worth some money.
Eh,
Now the floor price is $40. There you go.
rough. Woody says I started watching a show called Evil. Pretty good so far. Religious, weird stuff, exorcism, stuff like that. It's light though. Is it scripted? I don't even watch scripted stuff no more, honestly, besides Cobra Kai. I like that reality stuff, documentaries and stuff. Rob T says I was at the 1999 NBA Finals, Madison Square Gardens, when the Spurs beat the Knicks, Ewing, Spreewell, and Houston. And the Spurs probably had, I don't know if they still had Robinson at the time. They definitely had Duncan and Ginobili. That was probably a good series to watch. Rob T. Oh, I'm sorry. I just read that. Denny says, I'd love to hear just one top basketball player say he had a bad game rather than blame him. I know. Don't they do that every time? I feel like somebody like SGA would, but somebody like Halliburton would not. What's up, Samrax? Good to see you, my man. We're just wrapping up this show. This is our Tuesday show we do every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Denny says, I just read that. Sorry. Woody says, you wouldn't watch a vault. Mo probably would. Yeah. Does it sound like something I would watch? Although I
Yeah, I'll
like
have to check
religious
it out.
stuff when it comes to documentaries, like Religious, the Bill Maher documentary is one of my favorites. Big
Oh
A
hell
says,
yeah.
last VV drop was 98.1% chance to get a common. That was $13 from $40 cost, and SC was 1,500, but would have taken an average $3,900 to land statistically. So you would have had to keep buying boxes and boxes because 98.1% chance to get a common. That's not even a gamble. That's like playing the lottery. Yeah, I'm not even messing with that. Samrax says, I'm nothing without my vault. I'm not even sure who Samrax is. It could be some type of troll account or a burner. Might be Tucson. Nobody knows. Didn't go see the best show on Tuesdays. Appreciate you, bro. Yeah, we were gonna start late today. I tweeted and then deleted the tweet because my kid has football and I didn't have a ride for him, so I was gonna take him myself and start when I got back. but he decided he wasn't going to football today for some reason. He went yesterday. Don't ask me. I feel like it's summertime, so I'm not going to make him go if he don't want to go. It's just summer practices. Not that important.
Remind me of
Samrak
that
says,
old Will Smith song, "Summertime."
summertime.
Summer,
Yeah, well, there's a few good
summertime.
summertime songs. Samrak says, do you think Randy will save Vivi? No, I don't think Randy could save himself. He needs to save some money. Daniel C says, how's his football going? He's loving it, but I haven't. See, they actually said they told his parents can go and sit on the bleachers and watch the practices. And I was asking him, like, can I come by and watch? He's like, no, dude, don't. Nobody does that. I was like, I want to see. But pretty soon we're going to have their first scrimmage. I'll be able to watch that. But he's enjoying it. That's all that matters. Rob T says, that was the Spurs' first title. Yeah, Avery Johnson. Avery Johnson's the one that hit that buzzer beater. What position is he playing? Wide receiver. I told him to play defense. You want to hit people, not get hit. But he wants to be a wide receiver. He says he's fast. He see the whole thing was, I actually used to call him Flash because I wanted to name him Flash. His first name Flash. His mom wasn't having it, so his nickname kind of was Flash growing up. And he's like, "Why do you call me Flash?" I'm like, "Because you're gonna be fast." So now he thinks he's super fast and he wants to play wide receiver because that's what the fast players do. Gus Hall says, breaking news, Iran launched missiles toward Iran. They shooting themselves, bruh? It can't be breaking though, because Iran had already attacked Israel, so I'm not exactly sure what went on there. Big A says Randy's been promoting the Decat meme for months and dumped 5K today. Read comments on today's live stream. He admitted it. Oh, you mean he pump and dumped Randy Chavez? Are you serious? I'm so
What?
surprised.
I'm so shocked.
Woody says getting jiggy with it better than summertime. Stop, Woody. That's
Na na na
false,
na na
bro.
na na. It's
Getting
actually a
jiggy
new
with
Will
it.
Smith song. Did you hear it?
No. Are you
Yeah, it's
sure?
actually that was gonna be my original segue. But bro,
It's
it's
not
so bad.
AI. Is it? I keep seeing new music
It
about
might as well be AI. It's just like
I
I like girls, 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 girls. It has like girls in the video that don't even look like women. Like I like girls,
was gonna
girls,
say that sounds
girls,
like a song
girls.
I've heard before. I don't know.
Yeah.
Rob T says Randy says he is revolutionizing new comics for VV with his meme comics and coins that he owns. So is he gonna be writing his own comics? I'm sure David, you will have drops for him on VV, make him some money. Yeah, apparently Randy admitted to selling his the cat. I don't keep up with it. Samrax does though. He says the cat looks like a woke mess with meme coins mixed into it. A woke mess. I'm too old for this. Tell him cornerback. You get to cream the wide receiver. That's what I told him. Corner or safety. He ain't listening. I'm sure after he gets hit a couple times, he'll change his mind. Big A says, go to the comments. Wes called him out. Wes always calls him out. And he said it was his wallet, but he was holding coins for a friend. Oh, so he's playing it off. But I thought you said he admitted it. He says it was his wallet, but he was holding coins for a friend, and that the 5K was his friend's money. Yeah, right. Samrak says, how will the Moon Boys cope when VV gets shut down? Will BE and Randy and Mr. MC1 say it's bullish? Yeah, they will say that that was the plan all along. And now that means the next step is we're going to the moon, y'all.
Speaking of the
Ah,
moon, Big A, if my shit gets hacked because of this fucking Avalanche battle pass, I'm gonna be pissed.
are you buying?
I bought two of them. I don't know if there's any point of buying more than one, but
Let's go. I'm waiting for the Funko Pop. I'm gonna get back in, and I haven't done an NFT drop. And I mean, I did buy some naked girl on VV a few weeks ago. I didn't even know what it was. I just saw a naked girl and knew she was hot, so I bought one. But besides
well,
that, sorry, go ahead.
I was gonna say if you have AVAX, it's very cheap. It was like 0.05 AVAX for
Yeah.
it was like $1. I'd probably mint one of these only because off the grid is on AVAX.
Yes.
So if there's some sort of like crossover play here, or just even maybe log in and check the game out, maybe
It's
you get
also
something.
an American blockchain, and there are no taxes on gains from American blockchains with this new crypto bill. So that's
You know
another
how I feel
reason to
about
get into
that
it. Yeah.
from my Lord and Savior, Trump himself. Thank you.
Daniel C says defense is where it's at. I was a safety. I was big on defense. Trust me, that's pretty much only thing I played. I did do a little backup quarterback, but I played defensive end, strong safety, corner, linebacker. He'll learn. It's his first year playing football. I want to see how he reacts to getting hit. I don't think he's been hit too many times. He might change his mind and decide that he wants to do the hitting, as his daddy told him all along. Big A says, no, just buy one. The daily missions are from quests for all the AVAX games. There were get 3 assists on OTO yesterday, among other games. There you
Oh, just
go.
buy one. Buy two. You never know. I have
And I have some
nostalgia.
Avalanche too. It's just that I don't have my wallets hooked up right now. Then I have to go get my seed phrases, and I might. I don't know. If I get bored tonight, I might. Samrak says, "Whatever happened to Swoosh? Did it get rugged, bro? Whatever happened to Dot Swoosh, man?
Yeah, what the fuck?
I still got
I
my Dot
just
Swoosh shoes, but they
I know because
haven't
I
done
kept on
that.
saying if Nike and Disney can't make it, we're in trouble with NFTs. So
True.
ain't looking too good right now.
I don't understand what they're doing with Dot Swoosh. I think they made some type of announcement too on their Twitter, if I'm not mistaken, about how they weren't going to have any more drops or something. I don't remember. It's been a while. I haven't thought about it for a while, but I still have my NFTs, from over there. I don't know what's going on with it. Then he says his son is moving from defensive end to middle linebacker this year. He is pumped. Middle linebacker is basically like the captain of the defense, so he must be pretty daggone good. Do you let him skip practices? I feel bad for letting my kid skip today. Rob T says you can usually spend up to 60 $120 per purchase and then 500 total on Funko drop packs. So that means you're making that much? Nice. What happened to Swoosh? Nobody knows. Rob apparently does know. Dropped a total 90 today and it bricked. Dot Swoosh dropped a total 90. Is this a physical shoe or what is this? I haven't heard of any other NFT drops that Dot Swoosh has had besides their original one, which we all participated in. I think me and Mo live streamed it. Daniel C says yard selling is where it's at right now. Made some bank over the last few weeks. Bro, I just told Mo that I put my computer in the shop today to get fixed, my good computer. When I get it back, I might be able to make content again. Maybe I make yard selling content because I've been doing eBay like crazy. I should
Bro, I'd
show y'all
love to
some of
see
the
that,
sales
dude.
I've got. I got
You
a
used to
hoodie
bring
that
up
I,
videos, didn't you? Didn't you used to bring up some videos to show us some
yeah.
behind the scenes of the yard sale stuff? I could have sworn you did on
Yeah, I try
the
to do
TV
live
show.
streaming a little bit with it, but with me going
Maybe
out into
that's
the
what it was.
country, it didn't pick it up very well. And then I have another channel called Indiana Flipper that I have some old videos that I did before I got into VV, and then like one video I did just kind of messing around. So I might convert this into like a reselling channel. Might do politics. I don't know, man. Who knows? Big A says the value is going to be all the goodies you get for points for playing. The free NFT is just a way to get in. So that's what that pass. I have the secret rare one of 87 edition. Says, oh, Thanu on the shoes. He got one of the shoes with only 87 editions. I think I remember maybe you were in our stream that day and told us that because a couple people got really rare ones. My rarest one wasn't even close to that rare. They're cool looking ones. They're like snakeskin, but I don't know what's going to happen with it. Rob T says,
Yeah, I got
Swoosh had
sick
it.
4th of July ones. Probably fucking log in and see them.
Yeah, and I got some Valentine's Day ones too. Rob T, are these physical sneakers? They have to be. So apparently, Dot Swoosh had a drop on sneakers. It flopped bad. It's probably one of those ones where you have to own an NFT to mint or to buy a pair of the sneakers, which is like the sneakers that I bought previously. Then he
See,
says
that's
in
the
his
crazy part. That's what I don't like. Like, I thought the point of Dot Swoosh was not to buy physical sneakers. I thought it was for Nike to get into the NFT game. So I was
I thought it
thinking, like,
was
okay,
too.
like, yeah, we buy these, we buy these shoes or these NFTs and we get access to different ones. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, but I
but
don't
no,
hate
that
the idea of them having physical shoe drops where you have to have a Nike NFT to participate because if they gave us a market to sell our NFTs and all these shoe heads who don't own NFTs want to get in on these exclusive drops, then they have to buy the NFTs, which are like their key to get in from us. But we don't have a market to sell it to them, so that doesn't benefit us at all. It only just allows us to buy their shoes that we don't want. Although some of them you can resell online. Denny says it's his commitment. I just pay the bill and support and advise where I can. There you go. So I guess you don't mind if he decides to skip once in a while. Big A says, look at today's missions, Mo, and you can see all the games. Good way to possibly make some profit just playing the games and not putting any money in. Pay to play. Rob T
yeah, I
says,
don't have an
Nike,
account, unfortunately.
better sign up. Total
Yeah,
90
probably should.
sneaker. Okay, it's a soccer shoe and it flopped. No, Funko has a max they allow you to buy. It's usually 120 per purchase. And then if you go back and you keep doing it, supply lasts. You can do it till supply lasts, and they cap you at 500. Just an ugly sneaker shoe. Dasush has been releasing Fortnite sneakers now instead. I know I did the whole dot swoosh map they had on Fortnite. They had some custom map, and if you go
Yep.
to the very end of it, you got something unlocked that you could use in Fortnite. It wasn't like an NFT or anything, and so it seemed like a waste of time. So whenever they did another one of those, I didn't even participate because what's the point? My account looks pretty much like Mo's here.
Tell me these shoes aren't dope though, man. Like if these actually took off and went anywhere, who
Yeah.
wouldn't want to own these in a game?
Yeah, especially if you can like add those to characters of any game. Like maybe you can import them into 2K and add them to your basketball player. You can import them to Call of Duty and add them to your model of whatever character you're using there. Now you got some interoperability. Now they have some value, and that would be pretty dope. I think that was the plan in the beginning. The technology has to catch up though.
Well, and that's what it is. Again, we talked about video games themselves, which came out in the early 70s and it flopped, and then people regrouped, because the Magnavox didn't really do what they thought it would. And then towards the end of the 70s, you had the Atari, the Intellivision, ColecoVision, stuff like that. So, yeah, it's definitely not dead. But I don't know. I would just love to see these shoes in like a game where I can just.
Yeah, and it's such a big company too. It seems like it's a smart investment. That's why we bought it in the first place. Rob T says for now, they moved the dot swoosh to be the gaming division. That was that announcement I was talking about. Gus Hall still has an unopened dot swoosh box. See,
So do
I've
I.
got do you do as well? Yeah, I can't do that. That's
Yeah, I got a classic remix. One box I left sealed.
incapable of me doing that. I have to open it. What if it's the one of one in there, bro? And you sell the box unopened. Rob T says I did hit one of the 404 error number to 404. Yeah, that's more scarce than anything I got. I think my most scarce was numbered to like 1,000 or something. The snake skins. I still use it as my PFP on Discord because they're some cool looking shoes. But I don't know what they're ever going to do with this NFT project. Hopefully something. They've got the money to do it. I think they're just waiting for one, the technology to catch up, and for two, the reputation of NFTs overall in the mainstream audience to be better than everybody looking at them as just scams.
No, I agree. And I feel like we talk about it almost every time we talk Web3 gaming or NFTs, but the Trojan horse. We brought up that cartoon of the Trojan horse getting rammed through the fucking door. Like, that's exactly what these companies are doing. And the more that Off the Grid does it, and the more that, a game like Pudgy Penguins can get people, hooked because they have a big community. Forgot the amount of players, but it was like 5 million pre-registered, I think, for the Penguin game or some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Some game I think pretty sure it was that game. But I was looking through, I'm like, damn, that's a lot of pre-registered players, man, for a fucking game.
Yes, sir.
So, yeah.
Rob says, doesn't Mo have 5 boxes? I only got 4. I have 5 also. I think we got 4 originally, but then I got airdropped a matching NFT to match the physical shoes that I bought through the dot swoosh, right? Is that what yours fourth one is, or your fifth one?
No, I didn't get the physical thing with the drop. I just, I bought, I guess, 3 and 2.
I thought there was a limit, but I don't remember what the limit was. What he says, if official anime like Demon Slayer
thought it
One
was
Piece
5.
gets into NFTs, it would help legitimize. Yeah, I'm surprised that none of that stuff has gotten into it yet. And I'm sure that, I mean, if anywhere those stuff would pop up on VV first, I'm curious as to why they are not jumping into it yet. I don't know. Maybe they're afraid of the reputation that it brings and all the people, all the backlash they'll get on social media whenever they announce it.
Yeah, but look what happened with fucking Sesame Street.
Sesame Street was a bad one, yeah.
Like, BB puts out the post. Everyone in BB is like, oh my god, it's going to put this shit to the moon. We made it. And instead of Sesame Street kind of supporting the idea, maybe they did like, they should have done like a Bert and Ernie, like skit where they were doing like, let's learn about NFTs.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? They should have used Sesame Street in a creative format like it was designed for, to teach children or teach people. And they could have easily fucking spun it and showed people how it's not bad for the environment, and it's like sending an email and like all the carbon footprint that people are misinformed about. They could have easily put that to rest, but instead the comments on that turned into NFT scam, Sesame Street sold out, yada yada yada.
Yeah, but for them to do that, they would have to pay somebody to do it, their production team or something. They don't want to invest any money into it, but probably would have gone over a lot better if they would have done it that way. Rob T is right about the poster. Mo, did you have a poster? I did not have a poster, so I could only mint 4. But some people who got the posters and they were handed out randomly were able to mint 5.
Yes, I did have a poster. That's why I got it. I must say, and I think I remember like, oh, I'm gonna take advantage of it while I can because he's gonna be worth a lot of money.
Rob T's got a good memory because I didn't remember that until you
said
said
it. That's a damn good memory, actually. Hell yeah.
True. Sam Rack says if
oh my god, they announced a count? Oh, no way. I gotta get that.
if Dragon Ball Z or One Piece does any NFTs, I might have to buy one. Yeah, absolutely. Woody says that would have been a good idea. Maybe they can do it for the next, IFP that they sign. Rob T says new Sesame Street dropped announcement today. How ironic. Oh, really? Oh, it's the count. Oh, is that what you're talking
How
about?
many NFTs must I scam you with? 1, 2, 3,
Samrack says,
3
Walt, would you buy a
smacks.
BEX Randy VV NFT?
Hell
I
no.
mean, as soon as we have virtual reality and I can put it in front of me and shoot stuff at it, then yes,
If you
sign
could
me
chop Randy off, maybe.
up.
But
Yeah, well. All right, y'all. It's about time to wrap it up for this week's Tales from the Crypto live stream. We do this every Tuesday from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So come by and hang out with us next week. Mo, you got anything planned for this week coming up?
oh man, I am just locked in, bro. Locked in on PFL, bringing back the Friday night shows. Gonna try to show people how to race down there at the old S minus level, because I make posts and I tell people, I'm like, listen, this is what I'm doing. This is the money I'm making. I don't make a lot of money, but I don't lose money. I see a lot of people out there just racing 10 S pluses, fucking racing like 5 SS minuses, spending like $200 a day in racing fees, and I'm like, bro, you're crazy. Why don't you race like 1 or 2 of those, like I do, and then I have these other S minuses that make 30-40 bucks on a win in like an allowance race. And then sometimes, at the end of the season, they race for like 150-200 bucks in the finals, for a stakes race. I have 2 qualified right now that, they have a new thing on PFL where it's like, if you take top 30 on the leaderboard, you get 100 bucks at the end of the season. So, if the horse wins a bunch, like I have one that's got 4 wins on the season in allowances, so I keep her in allowances. She's made like 150 bucks racing. She's going to make 100 bucks on the leaderboard, and there's still a week and a half to go. So for an S minus, she could make, 3, maybe 400 bucks in a month. And if I do that with 10 horses, maybe half of them do all that, and I make, a couple grand.
Ballin'.
There's
Shout out to
definitely ways,
everybody in
man.
the
There's
chat.
definitely ways.
Thank you guys for hanging out with us. Thanu says, please check Medicaid. Thanu, send me a link. Send me a link. I don't know if I'll be able to find it by just searching it. Shout out to everybody for hanging out with us. We appreciate you
Yeah,
guys. Come back
appreciate
and
you
hang
guys.
out with us next week, and we'll have more fun stuff to talk about. I'm sure a million different things will have happened in the world of politics, so we'll have plenty to talk about. All right, everybody. Thank
Hell
you.
yeah.
And Mo, good stuff. Thank you for co-hosting, and I'll see you next week, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you. And I do play off the grid, by the way. I know Samrax was asking. Thanks again, chat, for hanging out. We'll catch you guys on the flip next Tuesday. Peace.